Hi friends, how's it going? I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. There we go. Time for nudes. Hi Bonk, so good to see you. I hope you are doing well along with everyone else. Welcome in, guys. Hopefully you had a great week. I know it went by fast as always. So welcome in, friends. It is good to see you once again. Yes, good evening, Kiwi Mish. You're excited for the noodles? Yes, me too. I've been thinking about them like all week. Made pasta with green beans, tomatoes, and smoked salmon. Yummy. That sounds so good. Hello, Food Truck King. How's it going today? Welcome in. What is Noodle Week? Hello, Punisher. So Noodle Week is something that's being put on by Team Bonin, so the stream team that we are a part of, and it is, for the most part, a stream team made up of food and drink cooking streamers. I'm doing good, thank you for asking. So what is it? It started yesterday, I believe. So it's running for 1 week, and all of the streamers have been invited to make a type of noodle on their stream if they want to. So we didn't participate in the last one they put on, which was Curry Week, and that was kind of one of the first kind of team events that was big like this one. So because we didn't do our Curry Week, I was like, well, we gotta get in on Noodle Week. I love noodles so much, and I know all of you guys do too. So I was like, we need at least one stream in the Noodle Week. And yeah, I decided to go with the soba noodles, something that will be definitely challenging for myself and a learning experience for all of us. Hello, Swilliams. Hello, Manitoban. Good to see you guys. Streamers that don't get the recognition they deserve on the front page. Thanks, man. I feel like a lot of that happens on Twitch, not just in the food and drink section. So far, so good here, Swilliams. Yeah, pretty rainy day outside. We just got rain all week, so that's okay, I guess. Kind of a grayish mood happening, you know what I mean? But it is nice because, well, here when it rains, at least it is always green, so can't complain about that. And I think we needed the rain too after those fires and stuff, so hopefully that's control and stuff.
And it's better than snow.
And it is better than snow, yeah. Yeah, it's like fall is slowly starting to work its way over here. I wish we could send some of that rain there, Bonk. Oh man. How have the fires been, by the way? I haven't really checked on that. I've been like more following the political things happening down there. But that's just another topic that I don't think we're gonna get into, guys, because, well, if you're like me, I like to stream because it's kind of an escape from the real world, right? Is we can just focus on something for like a good 2 to 6 hours, let's say, and learn something new, right? It's very satisfying being able to do that. Good morning, Cheese. How's it going? Yeah, bringeth the foodeth. So I watched a really good video that I posted in Discord on how to make the soba noodles, but I think we should watch it again today. For you guys, but also for me. I was like, I only watched it once. I don't really feel super comfortable yet as to what I have to do. So I think we're gonna watch it again. It's done very, very well. It's put on by Vice Munchies. Not sure if you guys ever watched those videos. They're getting them contained, the fires, and the smoke has definitely been reduced. Well, that is great news, Bonk. Yeah, keep us in the loop for sure. Yeah, dude, I don't even think I know all the difference between the noodles, so we're gonna definitely learn something today, Manitoban. Yeah, we're not gonna wing it. This one looks a little bit too tough to just like wing it, and I want it to turn out really well. Hello, Tedious Tao, welcome in. Guess what? 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 Okay, so we have a couple recipes linked there today for our soba noodles. Oh, thanks, Tedious Tao. I needed that today. Thanks, man. I mean, as nice as it is to tell girls they're beautiful, guys need to hear it too. So yeah, everyone, you're all beautiful. Did you know that? Me too, Manitoban. Well, I don't know if it's wearing off or maybe it's not kicked in yet. So cheers, friends, if you're just waking up still. You're fluffy and beautiful then. Gosh, you will accept this love. Okay, so before we watch the video together, we are going to go over our recipes today, go over a little bit of history on the soba noodle, because that's also important. Yeah, guys need to hear that too, right, Bonk? Swilliams, I don't know if you watched any of the videos that Anova put out on said steam oven, but it does look incredible, dude, for like the size of it and the price point. It's a pretty powerful little machine that I am very interested in. So obviously that's like their first rendition. Don't know if we'll invest in the first one, but maybe we'll like see how things go with it and then get in on the second one, depending on how the pre-orders go and how many they release, right? Yeah, they're coming out with it. Hi, Quad Core. Hello, CBD. Okay, so this dish is called, in very traditional Japanese terms, zaru soba. Zaru soba. So cold soba noodles is what we're doing today. And I think that's what we did last time too, but it was more like a kind of soba noodle salad, not as traditional as what we are going to be doing today. So we will try and show this dish the justice it deserves. Yeah, for sure, Williams. The main problem with bread at home is the lack of steam. That oven is so cool, dude. I mean, I've had pretty good results with doing bread in a big Dutch oven because it traps the steam in that way, but I'm sure using that oven, not even comparable. Okay, and I will say, guys, so I have never had soba noodles presented in this way or cooked this way. So I actually don't even know the flavor that I'm looking for. So this is kind of new for me. Typically when I make a dish the first time, I've already eaten it once before. So I already have that like food memory, the flavor memory imparted into my brain. But today, we're just rolling with it. I'm pumped. This doesn't happen too often. The flavor, delicious. Well, that is good to hear. Okay, so let's get into soba. In Japanese, it is pronounced the same. Thank you. It is the Japanese name for buckwheat, though. And one note on that, so here is the flour we're going to be using today. And it's a little bit special compared to just a plain buckwheat flour. This one is sprouted, and let's also note that it is organic. So all healthy things happening in this little package here. So one note on the sprouted buckwheat, because I feel like this is important to go over now before we get carried away. So sprouted buckwheat flour is packed with live enzymes, nutrients, tastes fantastic, and is naturally gluten-free. So note that, all you celiacs out there. With over 13% protein, all 8 amino acids, and a high fiber content, it cleanses the colon, helping to alkalize your body. Hey, Sammy's Roto-Rooter meal. There we go, guys. Titan didn't even have to request it. Our unique sprouting and milling process produces a sprouted buckwheat flour that is light in flavor, fine in texture, and has a nutty flavor. So it's suitable for wheat-free baking, and it also works well in cookies, crisps, pancakes, and biscuit recipes. And it can be substituted 1-for-1 for just regular buckwheat flour. So interesting. And it's also milled right here in BC, not on the island, just over in Chilliwack on the mainland. Very interesting. Ooh, soba noodles with boba tea. I wish. I love boba tea. I would choose coconut if we had access to that. Chilliwack, decent brand. Not your cup of tea though. Which one? The buckwheat flour or like Anita's organic mill? Okay, so soba usually refers to thin noodles made from buckwheat flour or a combination of buckwheat and wheat noodles. So we're doing the combination today because it just turns out better that way. Until I make them a few times, we're gonna use the wheat just to help them stick together a little bit easier. And well, I'm not celiac, so I don't have to worry about it being gluten-free in this instance. Oh, sorry, Manitoban. Yeah, decent band, Kate, not brand. How fun would it be to mill your own grain? It is actually quite fun, Swilliams, is we do have a little grain mill here. We've done spelt before, we've done durum wheat as well. And yes, so it is fun, my dude. Okay, so the soba that we're making today is called Nagano soba. So these contrast to the thick wheat noodles called udon, which I'm sure most of us know that one. It's quite a popular noodle as well. Soba noodles are served either chilled with a dipping sauce, what we're doing today, or in a hot broth as a noodle soup, which is also very, very good. Whoa, last time you had buckwheat was in cabbage rolls last year? How do you put the buckwheat in there? I have never heard of that. In Japan, soba noodles can be found in a variety of settings, from fast food places to expensive specialty restaurants. Markets sell dried noodles. We have one little pack left. There we go. So this is the one that I get. It's Shirakiku, quite a popular brand up in Canada. And these ones have wheat flour, tapioca, and buckwheat in there. So it is important, I think, to read through the ingredients and get the soba noodle that you are looking for, because different brands make them differently, right? So yeah, the tapioca in there will also help to hold it together, even better than just the wheat flour. So soba can nutritionally complement other grains like white rice and wheat flour. So thiamine, which is missing from white rice, is present in buckwheat flour. And thiamine is also something that is added into our wheat flour for most brands, I would say. Okay, we already went over that they contain all essential amino acids, so very healthy. Okay, this is gonna be interesting, the history of soba in Japan. The tradition of eating soba originates from the Tokugawa period, also called the Edo period, from 1603 to 1868. Interesting. So in the Tokugawa era, every neighborhood had one or two soba establishments, many also serving sake, which functioned much like modern cafes where locals would stop for a casual meal. At that time, the population of Edo, aka Tokyo, being considerably wealthier than the rural poor, were more susceptible to beriberi due to their high consumption of white rice, which is low in thiamine. It was discovered that beriberi, so that's a disease, could be prevented by regularly eating thiamine-rich soba noodles. Very interesting. So it's very traditional, obviously, in Tokyo. Whoa, tedious Tao. That is a list of lists. A dessert marathon stream? Okay, there's no way we could make all of those things in one stream. What? That would take like a year. Thank you for that, though. I'm seeing rhubarb tart tatin there, and that is speaking to me. Did you hear what Sam said just now? Partner stream, 24 hours of just desserts. Of course you would suggest that. Sam's like, I'm in. Kate's not into it, but I'm in. Yeah, just one of everything, guys. It's true.
While that's cooling, make something else.
Yeah. Okay, so that is our little article on soba. I have 2 recipes linked there from Recipe Tin Japan. So we usually go to Recipe Tin Eats for like our North American kind of Asian recipes, but there was a recipe in Japan, so very traditional as well. And it did look good. I just want to see if she says anything else more interesting. Not really, but I would suggest reading through the article. There is some interesting things. Okay, so she says zaru soba, so cold soba noodles, is the best way to eat soba noodles. Is it the best way, guys? Please tell me. I mean, I believe it, but I just need your reassurance. Crazy Mama, thank you for the follow. And Kamiboko, hi! So good that you came to this stream. Yes, please, guys, at any time during this stream, if I am doing something wrong, please let me know, okay? Hot soba is kind of like ramen. Yeah, I would like that then for sure. So zaru soba is the simplest form of eating noodles and so fast to make. It is a popular summer dish in Japan, of course, but if you want to be like a connoisseur and enjoy the soba itself, then eat it cold even in the winter. She says use kombu, so a kelp dashi, to make it a perfect vegetarian dish. One note on that, I'm actually out of kombu, sad to say, but we will make a quick little like bonito dashi together, I think. Maybe we'll throw like a little bit of nori in there or something for a funky seaweed flavor. One of the popular combinations is called tenzaru, cold soba and tempura. What a contrast of textures, hey? I could see that being so good together. Sam's like, do I have to tempura some shrimp right now? Well, we do have shrimp going with this dish.
And I do have a wok.
He does have a wok, guys. We can make this happen. Just don't know about the rain.
I don't care.
Okay, so for this dish, very, very simple. We need 2 bunches of soba noodles if you're using dried. And the best part is they already come in like pre-portioned little packages. It's awesome. You don't have to guesstimate how many noodles you need. So the dipping sauce is made up of dashi, soy sauce, and mirin. And then just to garnish, you can decide like scallion, shallot. She says wasabi. So if you have like traditional Japanese horseradish, I would. Otherwise, I don't think I would put the like fake kind of paste that you mix with water. And then lastly, our last little garnish is just some julienne yakinori, so the roasted seaweed sheets. Isn't there like a cold noodle dish like this in Thailand, but it's loaded with chilies? Oh, heck. I would say like almost every cuisine has their own kind of noodle dish. And they have like hot noodles and cold noodles, right? Wait. Can we think to an Italian dish that has cold noodles? Probably. I could see something like pesto-y, I guess. Oh, Tedious Tao, you're working tomorrow. Is that a good thing or a bad thing, though? Your furlough is ending soon. That's good. Okay, so to go along with our dish today, we got some spicy shrimps happening, and then to balance everything out, a sesame kind of slaw. So I think we might actually start with the slaw, have it done up so it can like marinate up in the fridge a little bit, work on our dipping sauce as well, and then make the noodles last so they're like nice and fresh. And then we just have to let them cool off and eat them with the sauce. I think that'll be the best for sure. Okay, I'm gonna have one more sip of coffee and then I'm gonna get this video playing. It is a bit of a longer video, so I've popped my little camera up in the top right corner so we can kind of like chat if you guys want during the video. Or you can just watch me watch the video. Hey RB, I have not made omu rice yet, but it is something that I am intrigued by. For sure. And once again, like these dishes. I would like to show it justice. So we're getting there. We're getting there for sure. And it is another simple one, but you have to pay attention to all the steps when you make it, right? Okay, we are turning off the beets right now. Got this. Okay, 2 seconds while I get this up. And just want to get the iPad so I can read chat with you guys the whole time. And then it's noodle time. It just got really quiet, didn't it? Boop. Boop.
My grandmother lived 102 years old. Her favorite food was soba noodles. Hello, I'm Sonoko Sakai. I'm the author of Japanese Home Cooking. Today, we're gonna make soba together. This is a very finely milled, fresh buckwheat.
How is the
So when you
audio?
put the rustic, coarse buckwheat, we call it country style. So today we're making country style soba noodles. And we're gonna combine it with the all-purpose flour. So I wanna blend it together. It's called buckwheat, but it has nothing to do with wheat. It's related to the rhubarb plant. In Japan, we have always treated it as a medicinal food. The Japanese monks were given buckwheat groats to eat for nourishment when they went into long periods of meditation in the woods and the mountains. Because buckwheat is a complete protein, you almost don't need anything else. We're gonna start making the noodles. I'm gonna add water. The amount of water that I add is about 50% of the weight of the flour. The fresher the flour, the less water you need. Too much water is gonna make it into a mushy noodle because buckwheat is water soluble. And when you cook it, it wants to fall apart. Putting hands in flour is a restorative process. It allows you to focus on something really simple. I was in the film business thinking about budgets and cast and travel and so much logistics involved and pressure. I love to cook. I've always cooked. And I said, well, I really want to go back into cooking. Maybe I could do something with noodles. And here was something, nobody was bothering me except the flour and the water. I'm going to start gathering this up into a ball. I tell my students when I teach soba making is, I want you to clean the bowl. If you have anything left on the bowl, you haven't finished your job. So I'm going to start kneading it. And you could see that it's a workout. I call this soba yoga. Like I'm actually putting my whole weight into it. It's a whole movement. When you can't go any further, the width of my cutting board is about this much. I just turn it this way. And I do a little jelly roll. Or like a little snail, right? And then you push it again. There's not that much kneading to do. You over knead it and the dough starts to dry out. You want to finish the noodles in 20 minutes. Here I have scars.
20
and
minutes?
I want to make a beautiful disc. I'm going to hold it with my left hand, and here's my thumb as a guide. It's going to hold the middle, and I'm going to start folding it. See? I'm taking the side of my hand and just bringing it to the middle of the dough. And you will see that I'm actually going to turn this into like a flower. And this is called a chrysanthemum fold. They do this to get the air out. This is probably the most important step in soba making. Because you're making sure that all the water is equally distributed. You're feeling the dough. You know more or less how stable it is. And once you have flour that you want, then you're going to close it. It should feel like an earlobe. See, this is Mount Fuji here. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to close like this, close the top. So then I'm going to turn it sideways, and I'm going to really completely close it. Just push it down. Tapioca flour doesn't change the ratio of the dough. And I'm going to leave a little belly button, and I'm going to work around it to press it down so that I get an even thickness. I'm using this as a guide. I don't like to use machines. The whole process from sifting the flour to the cutting part is all done by hand. So if you go to a real artisan soba place, maybe you have 20 max. So if you go into a soba place with 100 seating, you know they're not making it by hand. So now we're gonna take these pins and we're gonna start rolling the dough. You have your hands, cat's paw. The second knuckle sits right here. And you see me rotating the dough about every 30 degrees. I wanna keep it around the same thickness. The next thing I'm gonna do is to turn this into a square. So here's a quick way to turn this into a square. Roll it up. And this is kind of fun. Use the momentum. Push it forward. So you go like that. It has to make a snappy sound. Like that. I'm trying to create a corner right here. So I did it 5 or 6 times. I turned it like this. So because I don't want to lift the dough. I don't want to hurt the dough. So here's one corner. So I need 3 more corners to make it into a square. So then I roll this side. And then I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you're tempted to just use your hands. No. Treat it like a fabric. And then go this way. In this age where everything is digital and convenient, and all you have to do is boil some water and drop your ramen noodles into the boiling water. This is like really inconvenient food. It's slow, but I think it has a real meditative quality. Just doing something very simple. The end result is so much more nourishing for everybody. Cleaning up the edges, there's some areas that are still a little bit thick. And what you want is about 1/16 of an inch. So now it's time to cut the noodles. I am going to put some tapioca flour on it. This is a starch so that the noodles don't stick together. So you have to be quite generous. Do not try to lift your dough with your hands. Use the rolling pin as a guide and fold it in half. Just one crease here. And then let's put some more flour. And then gently fold the rest. And then I'm going to bring this close to me so I could cut it. It's a soba knife. This is a cutting guide. It sits right on top here. You're going to just set your knife right on top of the dough. Hold this board down. And you're going to tap it. And then you lift your knife and then forward motion. Tap. Come back. You want to do it in one single motion. That's why you have a long knife. So this
cool.
actually acts like a spatula, and you could slide it, and you separate your noodles. Now you flip it over, and you bounce this side. And we're going to cook it for just about 80 seconds. I'm just going to move it once, and that's it, and gently. And then I'm going to wash it. I don't want to flip it, okay, or shake it. I'm just hitting the bottom of the colander so I don't break the noodles. This is soba served cold with a walnut dipping sauce made with ground walnuts, kombu, stock, dried shiitake mushrooms, bonito flakes, with a little soy sauce, meaty, and sugar. And there's a variety of ways to eat soba noodles. The real geeky people have to eat soba cold. You want to taste the noodles. This is the classic way. You could just take a few strands and don't drown it. Just like a third of the way up and go. You make a mess. You want to get the noodles up to your mouth quickly, because if you do it slowly, then it's going to get mushy, right? So you want to go fast. In this case, the walnut sauce adds the nuttiness to it. There's a little bit of sweetness to it too, and the chew is nice. For the recipe, click below or buy my book.
What? She has a book? Unreal.
Walk by a soba noodle shop, you see all these salary.
How good was that video though, guys? So good. So good. Okay, so I'm going to put that in a different browser so that I can follow that for us. Turn down the music so I don't blast us. We're back. We're good. And I'm terrified. We're good, but I'm literally terrified right now. Welcome in, Jay Fred. Good to see you. And hi, Judo. Simply noodle. Oh my God. It simply is just noodles. My man. Happy opening day of canceled TwitchCon. Yo, we met each other last year.
On this day.
On this day, dude. High five and thank you for the 12 months together. Even though it's been longer than that, I know that. And that's also an entry for you into our ANOVA giveaway, which is on Sunday this week, guys. So we don't have that many more days to enter. Yeah, we all survived a whole year. Seriously though, yeah, we're surviving. Okay, friends, that was such a good video. So I wrote down 2 notes that were very important for me to remember. The amount of water we add to the flour is 50% by weight. That was very important, I thought. Second one, cooking it for only 80 seconds in the water. Okay, we have 3. And then the third one is rinsing off the soba noodles, which is important because 1, obviously it cools it off, and 2, it helps it not stick together when you serve it cold, which something I didn't actually know before this. Because typically when you're making like Italian style noodles, you never rinse the pasta after you cook it, right? Because you want the starches on. This application, you don't want it to stay starchy and stick together. Yeah, they're pretty starchy, hey? Okay, so those were my 3 little pointers that I did for myself. And then like I said, I will just go back, kind of reference that video as we are making the nudes. Okay. Just gonna get that on here. If we fail, instant ramen? Yes, we do have backup. And I do have 1 portion of like the dried buckwheat noodles, but I don't think we're gonna fail. I really don't. The only thing that kind of worried me was that she said you only have 20 minutes to make it. So it's like Manitobans like, don't, it's okay, Kate, take your time. But it's like, yo, dude, I actually can't though. But here we have some options just in case. But like I said, I don't think we're gonna fail. I see one that I will. This one's interesting. I'm intrigued by it. This is what we stacked up on like a bunch of good Asian noodles at the beginning of the pandemic. I like this one. It looks like fancy. Sapporo miso ramen. Ready in 3 minutes. Okay. Hi, Scooter Beach. Ciao Bop, I hope you are well. And hello, Cookie. I hope you have had a great week so far. Yeah, let's do this. Rinse immediately after cooking to wash off the excess starch so they don't stick. Yes, very important note that we don't transfer across the board to Italian noodles. No, we don't, guys, okay? Yeah, and we don't whack them or flip them when we drain them because they're a little bit delicate. I don't know if you guys could tell that from the video, but they are. So yeah, we don't want to be too rough with them either. And we want the dipping sauce to be able to stick to the noodles. Ah, okay. What did you guys think of her dipping sauce, that walnut dipping sauce? I thought that sounded so great. Maybe that's what we'll make since we don't have the kombu today. We'll make up our little like bonito kind of dashy broth and then get into that one. So, what?
I'm into the other one.
Sam's into the walnut one?
Yeah.
He's into it. I am too. Okay, we'll play around with things for sure, guys. Okay, where we're gonna start today, so I'm just gonna make up our quick prep list now that we have a good idea of where we're gonna go. Oh, wow, Bunk. Mildly allergic to walnuts. That's actually one that I've not heard of before, of like anyone being allergic to them. That's unfortunate. But we do have walnuts here in the house to use up, so I thought that we should do that little dipping sauce. And plus, it's just a little bit different, right? We like doing different things. So we are going to start by doing up our little sesame slaw. I think we're gonna add a little bit of broccoli into it too. Let's get some health going. Although we already know buckwheat flour, especially if it's sprouted, is known to cleanse the colon. Sesame slaw. We're gonna focus on the noodles today. We're not gonna do the tempura shrimp with it, but we can get the shrimp marinating a bit earlier as well. So spicy shrimps, and we'll probably go with like a spicy garlic shrimp. Maybe just pan fry it really quickly. I just thought we needed a bit of protein. Marinate those, and then yeah, that's a very quick cook, right? Shrimp should be basically done when you drop the noodles in the water. So we can eat the shrimp hot, the noodles will be cold. Get everything together. Thanks, Cookie. Yeah, I got my skulls on. Feeling very skull-like today. I think it's just the gray weather that we have going on here. Yeah, the itchy mouth and nose after eating walnuts, but you love banana nut bread. Oh. You just accept the fact that you're gonna have an allergic reaction. That is commitment, Bonk. Kudos to you. I respect that. Scooter Beach, 8 months in a row. Yeah, just make it with pecan, Sammy says. 1 more month and we got a Twitch baby. Thank you so much for 8 months together already. I hope you are well. Okay, sesame slaw, shrimp, we'll marinate those. Then we should work on the dipping sauce. I'll put underneath just a quick little dashi. I don't buy the pre-made dashi. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I was planning on making my own. And then it started like crazy downpouring here, and we're both like, we don't want to drive into town today to get the dashi because people are silly when it rains here too. Hi, Game Brain. Good to see you. Noodle week. Yeah, it looks like you have some catching up to do. I'm not sure the streams that have been done already by the other streamers for yesterday. I'm not even sure if anyone streamed for Noodle Week yesterday. I'm sorry, guys. I tried to find out, but I couldn't see anything. Okay, so sesame sauce, shrimp, marinate those, do our dipping sauce, and then lastly, soba noodles. So you guys can tell that because I'm a little bit stressed out on making the soba noodles, I kept the rest of the menu very simple so we could keep most of our focus on the noodles. Also a smart thing to do for yourself if you are going to attempt these today. And I hope that you would maybe get the confidence to do it after you see me make them today, going by how it ends up. You are Japanese, Kamiboko. You love the premium pre-made liquid dashi. Whoa. I don't know if I've ever seen that in the store, but we will look for it today after stream when we head into town. Premium liquid dashi. I'm gonna assume that you have to keep it in the fridge. Yes, okay. Thanks for the heads up. I always love you guys' like pro tips that maybe I don't know of. Okay, sesame slaw. This one does not have a recipe today. We are just winging it, you know? It's the theme of the stream.
Theme of the stream?
We'll get some cabbage out. Some carrots. Oh, Simon, you want to add carrots onto the list? Pick those up today. I think with all of the other like types of pastas and noodles I've made, I think I'll be okay too, Bonk. I'm just always a little bit wary when I make something like this for the first time. Okay, got cabbage, carrots, peppers out. I think like cucumber is super good with soba as well. So I'm just going for something like bright and crunchy. Actually, I don't know if I'm gonna put the cucumber. That might be something with the shrimp. Okay, so that, and then obviously sesame means sesame oil. Full disclosure, you can't read Japanese, so you can't tell me the exact brand you buy. That is fair. Okay, that, I'm thinking we'll kind of go with like a miso style of dressing. Miso sesame. Obviously grab some soy sauce out. Oh yeah, Sammy's gonna be a bit late on Sunday because we ordered 4 tunas. That's a lot of tuna. Are we sharing them with Zach though?
2 tuna for Zach. 2
Okay.
tuna for us.
Yeah, so we're sharing them with Zach. But we are very excited, guys, is they're just up island right now trying to work their way through this storm and get back home. Crazy. Okay, let's get a bowl out and we'll start by preparing all of our vegetables for the slaw. Just realized I forgot the broccoli in here that I wanted. And then we'll make up our little dressing of sorts. We're just freehanding it. That's fun. Looky Lucille, thank you so much for the 6 months in a row. Half a year together already. Wow, that is starting to add up, guys. Like, I'm remembering your guys' usernames, like Looky Lucille. I can't believe we've been together for 6 months already. Thank you so much for the sub, and that is an entry into the giveaway for you as well, guys. 2 more days to enter. The draw is on Sunday, 2 p.m. Pacific time. So the days are slowly counting down until we pick a winner. I think I want some extra slaw. I love munching on slaw during the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, since nearly the start of the pandemic. Thanks for the reminder, Swilliams. Simply Noodle with the resub for 2 months in a row. Great to have you today, Noodle. Hopefully I do this noodle justice. Yeah, has it honestly been that long? So nuts, guys. Okay, I have this nice kind of little Savoy chunk of cabbage here. We just have to clean it up a bit. Why don't we do that? This little chunk, and then the rest I think we have to save for the okonomiyaki on Sunday. Oh, you guys keep talking about shrimp and grits, and I think that's coming up on a menu.
Well,
As soon as it starts to like cool off big time, shrimp and grits. It's happening.
it's cool enough big time.
Sam. Yeah, it's time. Hello. What was it? The back door?
Screen door.
Screen door. Screen door in Portland. Anybody been there before?
Shrimp and grits, fantastic.
Seriously tasty. Yeah, good shrimp and grits, terrible barbecue. I mean,
Terrible barbecue.
what?
Yeah, it wasn't good. I wasn't happy.
Okay, sharp knives. Always a great way to start the day in the kitchen. Trying to get ready for the winter scooter beach. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have a lot of stuff to get ready outside, hey? Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this outer leaf of the cabbage there. And you know what? The rest of that looks okay. And we're just gonna go for some smaller pieces. So I'm gonna cut it this way so that our like max length of the cabbage pieces are around 2 inches. And we'll go nice and fine with it as well. So I'll show you guys how to take down this quarter of the cabbage when we get there. Yeah, a restaurant called The Back Door would be really something. I think there is Oh, sorry. I saw a restaurant lately called Backdoor Burger. And that's in Edmonton. Okay, so starting the stream, I guess, if you want to make this menu for yourself. A little bit of knife skills, guys. Getting our hands all warmed up for all that soba noodle kneading we're going to get into. And I always like to make my slaws earlier rather than later so they do have enough time to really marinate up in the fridge. I find like at least 1 hour, it will really get better in flavor. And if you can go like 2 hours, that's the best for sure. I think I mentioned it once before, Bonk, when someone reminded me of shrimp and grits. I swear we talked about it not too long ago. Okay, so just shaving off that side. The other one is okay. And then the only other thing we got to do is get rid of the cabbage core. It's just a bit bitter in my mind, especially in the Savoy variety of cabbage. And I just see one more thing to get rid of in the center of this piece. It's just a not so nice leaf. It's a bit browned, so try and take that out before you start cutting it up. Otherwise, you'll have to sift through and pick out all the little pieces that you chopped up. Yeah, Sam's Backdoor Barbecue. Hey, that's a name. So yes, Swilliams. Calgary's backdoor place of Alley Burger. I just want to make a note on this. Yeah, and it's only open sometimes. So my first ever restaurant that I worked at did the same thing, and my chef and like, was it Connie D'Souza that was doing Alley Burger? Yeah. So my chef and her were like feuding during that time when it first became a thing because yeah, he was doing the same thing in Edmonton. So the classic like Calgary Edmonton feud, but it was so much fun, like just slammed. I think we prepped 100 burgers and they were gone within like an hour. But doing that at the same time as operating a restaurant in the front, not very smart. Okay, back to our slaw. Good story though. Thanks for that reminder, man. So that was 2011? 2011. Time flies. I know, Cookie. Like 10 years just gone. It's a little bit hard to wrap your head around sometimes. And I can definitely see how, as you get older, you start to lose track of the years. I understand, guys. Oh yeah, that's gonna be such a good amount of slaw. Yum. Backyard might be a better name than backdoor. Yeah, Sam's Backyard Barbecue. You could call it that too. It'd probably be easier to like claim as our own name. Yeah, a mere 9 years ago. Kame, you're not hijacking chat. You posted the Dashi in Discord. Thank you so much. I was going to ask you to do that, but I didn't know if you were in there or not. Yeah, they usually carry multiple brands and styles. So thank you, because I will reference that photo when we go to our little Asian market later today. Okay, let's add in some more green stuff to the slaw. And I think we're gonna switch to the mandolin now, guys. Do a little bit of mandolining. And for that, we only want the bigger broccoli florets. Oh yeah, there we go. There's that. Asian markets are amazing, dude. We have like literally one here. It's called Fairways, but at least there are like multiple locations in the areas. But yeah, there's really only like one other than like the little kind of markets in Chinatown. Yeah, we're going for mandolin, game brain. So there's our carrots, and we'll just scrub those up real quick. We're not gonna peel them. They're organic, so there's no need. And then a bit more color. Why don't we do one red and one yellow little baby pepper? And that should be like nice crunchy kind of medley of vegetables. That looks good to me. Hello, Baruna. How's it going today? Your Asian market looks not nice on the outside, but the inside isn't bad. I think my favorite one ever still in Canada is TNT. And we don't have one here on the island, but we are able to get it shipped from Vancouver, which is something new they added. Haven't ordered from it though. There's one local food blogger that does a lot though, and she always has good experience with it. Okay, just gonna go to the sink, give those a little scrub with the veggie brush. And that way we can keep all the nutrients from the skin as well and not waste any of the carrot. Just dry those off. Yours had a literal gallon of traditional brewed Kikkoman soy sauce for 15 bucks. Was that the one in the metal can? I think I know the exact one you're talking about. That is good. And well, judging by this small amount of soy sauce we have left, we'll probably be investing that in the near future. Okay, prep our peppers. I don't think we have to mandolin that. So before we get into the mandolin, we'll finish off our peppers. So I like to cut all 4 sides around the like top stem. And I find that really keeps all the seeds kind of congregated in this center stem part. And then we just kind of tap out any seeds that are stuck on the pepper flesh. Then you can just get rid of that whole thing. Williams, I wanted to ask you, are you doing anything for Noodle Week? I'm intrigued. I tried to look at the calendar, but I couldn't get it to come up what everyone else was making. Okay, bring those back. And then we're just gonna do nice thin julienne. Maybe we'll do one more thing, which is just to take out the rib of the pepper, because it's kind of like spongy and tasteless. There you go. Those are the larger ones. Are these the spicy kind? No, they're nice and sweet. They're sweet and juicy. Is my garden still going, Scooter Beach? Big time. I'm actually going to try and get some little turnip seeds in the garden bed today because it's still supposed to rain a bunch. So hopefully they'll just like water themselves is what I usually do. Usually plant my seeds when it rains. So yeah, we have in our root vegetable bed, we have celery root, carrots, beets, and Swiss chard in that one as well. And then in kind of the greens bed, we have probably 6 different types of lettuce. And then that's the one where we pulled the kale from last week. So that's where I want to put the turnips possibly. And then the other bed, I still have some parsley, kale over there, and then sprouting broccoli and a bit more Swiss chard. So yeah, she's still going big time. And she will go throughout the winter as well. So we can grow like basically any type of brassica year round here. Just the only thing we do is cover the beds in the winter time so they don't get too wet and protect it from any possible snowfall. The mandolin, seriously, I would say like one of the most feared kitchen tools. But man, is it handy. I think those will be little doggo treats. I don't know what to do with that. Never get to see the end of the stream. No! Okay, Game Brain, have a wonderful day. And, well, it was good to see you while you were here. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, now it's mandolin time. Just the only thing we're gonna do, tip and top the carrots. Yeah, that carrot is trying to go. Hey, Cookie, you saw that? It's like, excuse me, where do you think you're going? Excuse me, sir. Okay, she's already set up for us with the little julienne attachment there on our mandolin, and very important, cut-proof glove and the guard for the mandolin. We're doing all of the right things. It makes it easier, right, Scooter Beach? I think I'm gonna have to order a new one of these though, because it's just seen its fair share of mandolining. It doesn't really fit my hand very well anymore. It got kind of stretched out maybe. Or if possible, just get a smaller size. Scooter Beach, you guys are hitting the end of your garden. You have some tomatoes left and your herbs, but the rest is over with. Wow, yeah, we still have a ton of tomatoes as well. Okay, I think, yeah, we can do the full length of carrot. Just gonna go out a little bit. And I will use the guard for this. So there is arrows on the guard, which is super handy, so you know which way to like stab your said item. So like that. And then let's see, I just want to test. I usually don't do it when it's this long, so we might cut the carrot in half. Oh, that works pretty good. And then we get little pieces that look like that. I think that's perfect. And then it will be quicker to do the carrot in this one length than to cut it in half and do it in the smaller lengths. Just how much are we gonna have left over here at the end? We can take care of that with our knife. Push that aside, get into the next one. This one's a bit bigger. Can't really hold on to it with this guy this time. I'm just gonna use my glove, guys. It's okay. Trust. And I always have the thicker part of said vegetable or whatever we're mandolining That's what I'm really holding on to and pushing from the back. Looks like I'm gonna switch this up though. And then yeah, when it starts to get close to the blades, just go slow and controlled. And that's it. When it starts to slip, you're done. That's as far as we gotta go. So just put that aside. I'm just gonna keep my glove on for this while we take care of these carrot strips. And I think we'll just put those aside as well. Okay, so we kind of want to match the size of our cabbage and peppers that we've already cut. So no more than 2-inch lengths for our carrots. Probably go like 1.5 maximum. And then the nice thing about this is as it gets marinated over time, the carrot will soften up a little bit. It's gonna be such a nice, colorful coleslaw. I'm excited. High powdered. Yeah, the most horrendously dangerous tool. We were just talking about that. And I'm glad we all agree, right? You don't have one anymore, Judo, because you tend to just grab into the drawer that it's in. Did you grab the mandolin blade once? You're crazy. Okay, broccoli, I think we're just gonna do like this. And I'm gonna try and get it so that we go like stem first. And I'm actually gonna switch this. We don't want the julienne blade anymore. We just want the straight blade. I just want like little slices of the broccoli.
Hey, carrot snacks.
Carrot snacks for Sammy. That's really thick though.
What?
Slicing the brocks. We might have to do it by hand, guys. We gotta do it by hand, and that's okay. Pop it out. Done with that. But as you guys can see, mandolin, super great for like root vegetables and stuff. Anything that is maybe a touch difficult for you to cut, try it on a mandolin. Just do it safely. Yeah, that's terrifying, Judo. Okay, so I think for the stem, I'm gonna kind of like angle it till we get to the floret, and then I'm just gonna kind of roughly chop it in thin pieces. And we get little pieces that look like that. And I love the broccoli stem. It's actually nice and sweet. So I never get rid of that. Ooh, the sun is out for like 2 seconds, guys. The birds are so happy right now. They're just all singing. We have sunshine. Let's trim that piece off. Definitely don't want that one. You hear that little guy? He's really happy. It's so cute. Okay, broccoli in the bowl. And now it's dressing time. Get all the broccoli dust into the coleslaw. Okay, there we go. Just gonna rinse off the knife. Give our little board a wipe. Okay, we'll just put that aside. Start crossing off the list. So sesame slaw, basically done. Gonna grab this 500 milliliter container. Let's come back in now. And so far I have some soy sauce, a little bit of miso. Obviously for a sesame slaw, we need some sesame oil. And what else am I feeling? I feel like we maybe need a bit of sweetness. And I think I want to go towards the creamy route. So I'm going to grab some mayo. I'm going to double check that I don't have any open. No sneaky mayos open in the fridge. Yeah. Yeah, that's not the mandolin we are most familiar with. Okay, next up. We're gonna go double sesame. And then, I think that's good. You need some sort of acidity though. I think the best application for this probably be rice vinegar. That's got a little bit of sweetness to it. So we'll go with the more mild rice vinegar. Just over here. And I think that's a good little setup for our slaw. I think that'll be good, Sammy.
He's really happy.
You love how much work the board has clearly seen. Yeah, you can see all my knife marks. Eventually, once these start to get like too deep, we'll probably do a quick little sanding on the top and do kind of a refinish, re-oil and season. But yeah, she has seen a lot of stuff.
How long have you had that now? Over a year, haven't you?
Over a year for sure, Sam. Probably at least a year and a half, I would say.
I forget when I bought it for you.
Coffee, complete. Man, that was good. Okay, so we're gonna start with the thickest ingredient today, which is our miso. So here is the miso that I use from Amano, and it is the Aka miso. So it is made from soybean, but they do make some, I believe, gluten-free versions of miso. So yes, still, if you're going like the celiac route with this dish, it is a possible thing. I think I have seen them with a buckwheat miso. I could be wrong though. I know they have a few different varieties. And actually, I think I'll just start with the little whisk with that one. So you just have to loosen this up first. Some people do like a little bit of warm water, but I don't really want to water it down. So I'll probably do it with the soy sauce maybe.
Soy sauce.
And let's do like a tablespoon, I would say that is. And then to put it back in the fridge and keep it nice and safe, I always put that plastic back on. And that way it doesn't dry out. You don't really want it to see the air. And this is fermented soybeans, guys. So it's salty and like nutty and earthy. Really great. Hi, Laughing Wolf. Good to see you. You love soba and shrimp and spicy things? Well, welcome in then. This is perfect stream for you. Would be good to try different styles of miso. I agree, Kamiboko. You like the Aka, the red miso for soups, as it's a robust flavor, while the shiro, the white one, is great for dressings. I need to try the shiro because I don't think I've had it before. That's something that maybe we should look for as well. Because yeah, once you have this and open it, it should last, I mean, a long, long time. Because like I said, it's fermented, so it's been preserved with salt. So as long as you keep it clean, it'll stay good too. So I'm gonna start with just a scant amount of soy sauce. Try and like tap that out. Get it mixing into there. So we'll kind of get this worked into a paste and then loosen it up from there. I find if you add too much liquid at the start to loosen it up, it stays a bit lumpy. And I don't really want it to be lumpy this time. Oh man, Scooter Beach, like miso, just really great versatile ingredient. And just kind of knowing what you guys eat and like to make, I think you would like to have it in your arsenal. Yeah, you've had your miso in the fridge longer than you'd like to admit. But maybe it is also one of those things that kind of gets better as it ages. That's one way to think about it. Okay, add a little bit more soy sauce now. That's looking pretty good. I know this one is a bit lumpy anyways, so I think that's where I'm gonna stop. And I don't want it to be super, super salty, so I'm not gonna add any more soy sauce. Now we're gonna start to balance it out, so definitely need acid with any type of coleslaw that we make. The satisfaction of opening a new bottle. And then the pull tab breaks off. Yo. Don't even tell me this is how the day is gonna go. No, it won't, guys. No, it won't. That bottle wasn't prepped at all to be able to pull that off. I just don't want it to fall in though. Gotta do this strategically. There you go. Oops. Not made to last, that's for sure, Bonk. Okay, let's go in. It's like a couple tablespoons of the rice vinegar. This is quite a good amount of sauce, so maybe even a bit more. And yeah, whenever I'm making any type of dressing, I typically always start with the acidic component. Just see how this looks. Okay, now, ultimate flavor happening. Some toasted sesame oil. Kiwi mish, don't remind me of the gnocchi. But luckily, those are dumplings, not noodles. And sesame oil is quite strong, so we shouldn't need like more than a couple teaspoons of this. And this portion of slaw, definitely good for more than 6 people. Oh man, look at that satisfying little mayo nugget on top. The final little sploot. So good. Almost as satisfying as the peanuts on top of peanut butter, right guys? Hey, this is the first time we've ever used this brand. And yeah, it happened to be sesame oil, and it's super good. Super good. Yeah, the Hellman's Pompadour. Thank you. Okay, so we're just going to make this a touch creamy and not as loose, right? Kind of just use the mayo for thickening in coleslaw dressings, not really for flavor. And then it obviously balances out the acidity too. That's smelling good though. Because we're gonna have spicy shrimp, I'm not gonna spice up the slaw at all. We'll keep that just nice and refreshing and cooling. Tedious, you're off. Have a wonderful day. And yeah, dessert-a-thon. We'll keep talking about that for sure. It's not been ruled out. What's up with the Hellmann's and Duke debate? You've never tasted Duke's. Neither have I. It's not a thing here, so I don't really know. Okay, a couple more things I want to add into this. Some black pepper for sure. I love peppery coleslaws. And, oh, what about this little secret ingredient from Sam's mom? I think that would be good in here. Couple little taps of dried garlic scapes. Nom. Okay, mix that up and then I'll give it a taste. See how I feel. Smelling great though. Mmm. Oh, that's the other thing that we weren't able to get for this, but we are picking it up for Sunday bonk. Kewpie is on the list, so that's another thing we're getting today. So this is reminding me of like a creamy sesame sauce. You know, the one you get when you go to like it's not yakitori place. What, the guy with the things in his hands? Yeah, the creamy sesame sauce. You guys know the deal, where they're like frying up the steaks and stuff in front of you. And the shrimps are flying in the air. Yeah, teppanyaki, there we go, thank you. I knew someone would know the word. And hello, Splinter Cat. Man, I have not had teppanyaki in so long that I even forgot the word. That's disappointing. Yeah, also, hi, hope you are well. Yeah, so this is really reminding me of that. The only thing we need, a little bit more sesame flavor. Other than that, though, it's really nice and balanced. Maybe a touch more salt, but I don't like to add too much salt at the beginning because it does kind of soak it in as time goes on. So I'll always just add a small amount of salt right before we serve it. So let's see how this did. That is perfect. The miso really gave it like a nice depth of flavor too. Okay, so I don't typically pour all of the dressing at one time. Pour like 3/4 of it and then mix everything up. Just in case, you know? And then for sure, we need a little bit of sesame seed in there. Yeah, I know, the sesame sauce at teppanyaki, everything. Literally put on everything. But man, is it good with beef though. Yeah, miso, instant umami. I mean, that's typically the example given when you do talk about umami. It's like, that's the first thing. Oh, it's like miso. This sesame flavor is gonna go so good with the soba noodles. I'm pumped. We have lots of interesting textures in this one too. I would say for sure if you're adding broccoli into your coleslaw, you would want to marinate it for a minimum 1 hour. Broccoli does take a bit of time to soak up the flavorings. Okay, so it's looking evenly mixed. There's like not really any dressing sitting in the bottom of the bowl. So I think we'll let this go just in the fridge. Also just want to have a bite, see how it tastes like this. And then before we serve, we'll taste it one more time. Probably pour the rest of the dressing on. And then obviously serve it with our noodles and shrimps. That's delicious. Scallions would be really good, chopped up on top. Once that marinates, wow. And I think even Sam's gonna love it.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Okay, into the fridge. Keep that crunch. Okay, we're just gonna put a few things away. I'm gonna take a quick backroom break. Just going to the back room. I'll be right back. Okay, back. Laughing Wolf is a restaurant in Ottawa, which based on my description is similar to teppanyaki, but it's Chinese food. Interesting. Can you post a link to it? I would love to check it out. Sam's parents live by there, so maybe they would be interested in it. Okay, so we are going to reserve the rest of our sesame dressing for the slaw, but everything else can be put away. Found the furikake back there. Makes me want rice too now. My little Asian pantry there. Guys, do you organize your pantry with like different cuisines? Because that's kind of how I organize mine. It's quite simple that way, I find. Hey Trev, good to see you. You thought about getting a little Japanese grill. Yeah, but the way it looked at, it was super expensive. What? Japanese charcoal is also pricey as hell, but it lasts a lot longer. You're thinking of yakitori. Yeah, the little hibachi grills, right? I'm still interested in one, even though the Mini Max is like pretty much that anyways. Some bread in the oven, the curry's done, and polenta is finishing. Dude, that sounds delicious. I would crush that for lunch right now. You don't organize your pantry anymore because everyone else just tosses stuff in there and you're tired of reorganizing it. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, Manitoban. I am very adamant on keeping my pantry organized, but I think it's because I like cook for other people all the time, right? So it's gotta be good. Sam also doesn't really go in there too much, so he knows. It's like if he messed it up, I'll be like, where did you put this? Yep. What have you done? Okay, sesame slaw, complete. Let's get into our shrimps and get those marinating. Depending on your marinade for the shrimp, you don't want to let them sit in there too long. So if you're using something very acidic with like lemon juice or obviously vinegar, no more than 1 hour in that marinade. Today though, nothing really acidic going in there. We're just gonna spice them up a bit and oil them up. So literally all we'll have to do is a quick pan fry right before serving. Your movies are alphabetized by title. Your books are alphabetized by author. Your spice cabinet is just stuff randomly arranged. You never thought of organizing it with cuisine types. So far, I've been really liking doing that for myself. It's been really helpful. Will the shrimp have the shells still on them? I think we're gonna take them off just for like ease of eating, especially with the chopsticks today. For this aspect, we're gonna take the tails off. And I think they're all thawed up now. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, so we have some beautiful, uncooked, extra large tiger prawns that we did get on sale not too long ago. And we want to be looking for this little symbol or something similar. Your aquaculture ratings there. So best aquaculture practices certified, or another one is Ocean Wise. I don't really know what you guys have in the States for it, but we're looking for responsible fishing for sure. So I'm just gonna pour those out into a little pan. We'll take all the tails off and then we'll marinate them. Get out the bowl. Actually, I think I'll just pour them into this guy. Yeah, and you're in an apartment with limited space. Yo, that is very fair, Bonk. Yeah, I remember apartment living stuff was just kind of like spread out, right? It was wherever you could put it. Shrimp shells make the best stock ever. Oh, what? Okay, Trev, so instead of the konbu going into our little dashi broth, why don't we put the shrimp shells in there? Yes, dude. Okay, and it's gonna be a small amount, so let's get out this little bowl. And we'll put the shells in there, the clean shrimps in there. Unreal, dude. I'm pumped. The sad part is though, Cami, I don't have the konbu. I only have the nori sheets and the bonito flakes. That was on the list as well. So we'll be getting the konbu. We'll look for the liquid dashi. And then we gotta get the Kewpie mayo for the okonomiyaki on Sunday. Got some Japanese influence this week, hey guys? That's still one place that I absolutely cannot wait to visit with Sam. I think he feels the exact same way. This is why we have two hands. Make quick work of things like this. This is also what's expected if you work in a restaurant and you're getting paid by the hour. You will not work with one hand, because that's not efficient. Oh, on that note of restaurants and like cooking for people, we do have a pretty good amount of orders for tomorrow. So our Peruvian chicken, back by popular demand, and it is absolutely amazing. Definitely one of my like favorite dishes to make in the summer. So as our summer is coming to an end here, I thought we would make it one more time for sure. Peruvian chicken, green sauce. Oh yeah. Are we doing the okonomiyaki on the big green egg plancha? Yeah. What?
Good.
Yeah. For sure. Okay, just washing up my hands real quick. I'm pumped, Bonk. And now, is this a thing that has pork belly in it? Or is it like vegetarian until you add the pork into it? Are we talking about visiting Japan? Yes. There's some wicked flight deals out of Vancouver right now? No. At least not yet. Like that'll be something for sure down the road. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna fly anywhere for a while right now, guys. How much time are you given per dish in a restaurant? Okay, we gotta We need a few more questions to go along with this. Like to cook? Are you saying, Goku? How much time are you given to cook each dish in a restaurant when the order is put in? Is that what you're saying? Pork is pretty standard for okonomiyaki. Okay, noted, because we have some, like we still have some chunks of the crispy pork belly, right?
Yeah.
Sam? So that's what I think we're gonna take out. And we are trying right now to source octopus as well. You get flight emails and it's so tempting, right? It's just like, let's just get out of here. Splinter Cat. But you know what? Our island is quite peaceful, I have to say. Okay, so going back to Goku's little question there. Typically a pickup time in like a higher end restaurant is 15 minutes. You want to keep it 15 minutes or less from the time that the order comes in to when the food hits the table. Which, if you think about it, for the most part, many things are not made right at that moment. So yeah, a lot of like restaurant food is not that fresh. It's prepped in large portions for about like to last you about 3 to 4 days, and then it's redone again. So keep that in mind, guys. Or yeah, when the expediter tells you to fire. Exactly, Bonk. But for the most part, it's 15 minutes or less, and that's kind of the basis of any restaurant that I've worked in. And then sometimes you actually have to slow it down too, because if someone eats slow, well then you have a little bit longer, and then you push that bill back. Yeah, there's a whole science to it, guys. Okay, let's get into our shrimps. We can keep that pot there of the shrimp shells because we're gonna be working right into our little broth that we're making for our dipping sauce. Okay, what I want to use for spicing up the shrimp, I know exactly what. How about some gochugaru? I know it's Korean, guys, but I think that the color from mixing in some of the chili paste would be so nice on the shrimp. So we'll do some gochugaru. Our chili garlic oil, which, yeah, we're getting near the end, so that's gonna be good. And then, does anyone know the little Asian secret for putting into a shrimp marinade? It's a dry ingredient. It's not just knowing how to execute a dish, Bonk. There's a lot of time and kitchen management involved, for sure. There is so much involved. So let's say ham, eggs, and chips with mushrooms. Oh, heck. That would be like a less than 10-minute pickup. That's so easy. A little fish sauce until I said dry. Okay, yeah. That was a good guess though, Trev. So the little secret, I know you can't see the writing anymore, but it's baking soda. So a little sprinkle of baking soda helps keep the shrimp more plump and they retain more moisture. But it's seriously just a pinch, guys, and it does work. So I think I always start with that. Literally just a pinch, and then we'll distribute it for the rest of them. Oh, we can do a little bit of MSG. We might as well, right? There's no excuses today. And plus, it'll make Uncle Roger so happy. He says, "Fuyo," not "hiya." And then I do know, like, gochugaru is not that spicy. So let's go in with our own spice, some smoked chili flake powder. You saw that video too? The Uncle Roger Gordon Ramsay, everyone needs to go watch it right now. It was really good, and he was so impressed by Gordon.
Fuyo.
Fuyo. And we will say, Uncle Roger does say, guys, it's not racist. He would like everybody to expand their vocabulary with these words. Okay, next one. We have to kind of loosen this up. I think I'll put that in a bowl and try and loosen it up with the oil. Let's get our little whisk again. This one is quite thick compared to the miso. I might need a touch of water. The sauce is gochujang. Oh, sorry, I did get it wrong, Trev. And this is yeah, this is gochujang. The flakes are gochugaru. You are correct. I guess that just shows that it's been too long since I've used both of those items. I think I'm gonna go a bit more. It is a very unique flavor. It's like sweet, fruity, kind of like roasty, really deep like pepper flavors. It's just good. You fell asleep, CBD. Welcome back, dude. How was your nap? Okay, I'm just gonna do the like smallest amount of hot water because you guys can see it is super thick and pasty that I don't even think any amount of oil would be able to get that started. And warm water definitely helps. Scrape that off. It does loosen it up pretty quickly. I don't know about this whisk though, guys. Pop that in there. Just smash it with the spoon, I think. There we go. Now you guys can really see how the color starts to come out. So it should color the shrimp a little bit red as it sits in there. Yeah, instantly as we started to loosen this up, I got like the kind of sweet and sour smell of the gochujang. Touch more water. Oh, I didn't. Okay, sorry. I saw what you said about the ramen Laughing Wolf, but did you post the link? I didn't watch enough K-drama. It's true, Trev. Call me out, guys. These are the truths. Okay, we're almost there. It's almost ready to accept the oil. I think we need a very scant amount of water. One more time. Could I cut it with rice vinegar? Yes, but I don't want to put the acid on the shrimps. That's why we're not going with that method. Didn't want to put any acid on the shrimp because we're pan frying them. And I don't want that to get really concentrated and make it taste sour. Could do a quick little spritz of rice vinegar at the end though, right when it comes out of the pan, just for like a little bit of brightness. That would probably be really good. Okay, there we go. So now she is loosened up. And now I like to shake up all of the solids. So that's literally chili flakes and roasted garlic just sitting in some vegetable oil. So I like to mix it back in. There's a lot of flavor in there. And this is a super simple condiment to make, and it's one of my favorite to dress shrimp with. So just take your vegetable oil. We do grapeseed or canola. put in your garlic cloves. They can be whole. And start to bring that up slowly on the stovetop until they look nice golden brown roasted. Put in your chili flakes as well, just to quickly steep. Blend that up. Keep it in the fridge. You're good to go. You have chili garlic oil. Hi, Taz! Noodle week, my dude. So pumped. I missed out on curry week, but dang, we are not missing out on noodle week, dude. Okay, there we go. Let's do like a good tablespoon worth of that. Takes 10 years of daily training to perfect soba. Oh my gosh. I already said at the beginning of this stream, I'm terrified. Terrified. Or maybe not terrified, but I'm weary. I'm a bit weary. This should emulsify together. Oh, that looks good. Okay. We don't need this whisk. Not needed. Yeah, the acid could also start to cook the shrimp. Anyone knows what ceviche is? Literally seafood cooked by citrus juice. If you leave it in there for like a day. Okay, so we have smoked chili flakes. We have MSG. We have a little bit of baking soda, gochujang paste, and some chili garlic oil is our marinade on the shrimps. And there's just enough shrimps for the two of us today. That's looking good though. So enough marinade obviously to coat that. Nom. I am in. And we'll go back to that in probably an hour when we're ready to finish everything up. But we definitely want to keep those nice and cool in the fridge. Okay, next thing, our little bit of broth for our dipping sauce for the noodles. Very important to have that done ahead of time, I would say. We need some water. Trev, I used to think ramen was so simple until I read about Japanese ramen. Yeah, you're not doing that. You don't have enough years. It is worth it though, I will say. Like taking a day to make the broth and once again, knowing how you eat at home, you would enjoy it for sure. We've played around with a bunch of different styles of ramen, but I think my favorite and the easiest one to make at home is still the miso one. Are the shrimps going on the grill? Wasn't planning on it because it's kind of gross outside today, so I don't want to get the camera out there. So we're just gonna do a quick little pan fry inside. I think that's why you have a problem with all the Japanese sushi places run by Koreans. They don't season the rice properly. At least that's been your experience. That is fair, yeah. LA says you have to spend 10 years cooking rice before you're even allowed to touch the fish. That is true. That is the truth. All right, bonito. And we can get the nori out. Oh, what? Okay, I did have the konbu. It was just hiding. Pumped. This is gonna be even better then. Okay. This is for our garnish on top, so just the roasted seaweed sheets. Here is our little bit of konbu. So this is the one I buy. They're just like tied in knots. It's very interesting. So let's just do a little handful of those. Remember, this isn't gonna be a lot of broth, so Let's do 4 pieces because they do expand. And this is literally all I have on the package, guys. You just have to kind of know what you're looking for because there is 0 English on this. Judo, you made a new sourdough starter yesterday and it's already tripled the size. She's happy then. What is her name? Okay, here's our bonito flakes. Also, another thing that's going to be used on Sunday. Yeah, I actually look in the pantry and find kombu. Hey, it was in the little Asian section. Like I said, it was just hiding. So these are the few like Asian ingredients that I always keep in my arsenal, even though I don't use them all the time. But you can see how these particular ingredients can be transformed into different styles of dishes. So that's why I keep them around, because it's not just like a one-time use. Oh, we're making a broth for sure. I want it to be nice and potent. And I think we'll have maybe some extra leftover noodles, so I don't want to be out of broth and have leftover noodles. That would just be a tragedy. Do we want, oh yeah, she put a little bit of dried shiitake in too, right? Don't know if I have a bag already open. I might. No. Okay, we get to get into this one too. Or maybe I already have gone into it. Okay, sweet. Resealable. Okay, we'll put 2 dried shiitake mushrooms as well. That is gonna be very flavorful. A bag of frozen anchovies is good for Korean stock too. Frozen anchovies? There's such a thing? Maybe just at the Asian markets? Okay, why don't we put in, I think only 2 cups worth of water. Like I said, I want it to be nice and potent. I'm gonna start with the cold water and then slowly bring it up. Buff, a big bag of frozen anchovies is a late night snack. Maybe to some, we could say. Not bashing it, nope. Good to see you, Buff. I hope you've been well, dude. Yeah, all bags should be resealable. Thank you, Splinter Cat. Okay, so mushrooms are gonna float for the first bit until they start to soak up some of the liquid, and then they will get submerged and start to flavor that. So let's just put that on a little medium heat on the stove top. You can cross some stuff off the list. Shrimp, marinade, dipping sauce. We are working on it. I'm gonna reference one of our recipes now. So for her dipping sauce, 200 mils of dashi stock, so that's what we're making back there. 50 mils of soy sauce, 50 mils of mirin. So that is like a Japanese rice wine. And found a really great article. I don't think I have any mirin, but I have a few different types of cooking wines that are Asian. You can substitute dry sherry or even sweet marsala wine. Dry white wine or rice vinegar will also do. Just you have to counteract the sourness with some sugar. Interesting. Mirin, yeah, she says. Yeah, it's a sweet cooking wine. Handsome man. Oh, this guy right here, that's a Matty. That's a Matty. And he is coming out with a new cookbook, guys. But my thing is full. I've been cut off until we start cooking out of our cookbooks that we already have. Okay, I have this light wine right here. I think this is very close to what we would need, hey? A rice cooking wine. We just have to taste it for sweetness. Yeah, unless it gets gifted. It's true, Scooter Beach. Okay, so we got that. And then our soy sauce we can take out. And guys, next step now, we are starting to work on the noodles. I'm just gonna put this over here by our broth that's slowly coming up. Oh man. Okay, getting my mind right, getting it set. We have our buckwheat flour. Just putting the chili garlic oil away, keeping everything clean. And then we need our proper mixing bowl. Something nice and shallow. Has a wide surface area. So this is usually my go-to anytime I'm making like a bigger batch of dough. So I make my pasta dough in here, biscuit dough, anything like that. Pie doughs. Hello, King Russell. How's it going? Yeah, Scooter Beach. The way out of not getting any more cookbooks, they have to be gifts. Yes. Are we making steak? We are not making steak today. We are like the furthest thing from steak. Sad to say. All right, 2 seconds here. I just want to kind of see how much flour that lady used when she made the noodles.
This is it's called buck style. So today we're making country style soba noodles. And we're gonna combine it with the all-purpose flour. So I want to blend it together. It's called buckwheat, but it has nothing to do
She
with wheat.
didn't
It's
say
related to the rhubarb.
how much flour she used. But all we know is that we have to weigh the flour, and then that percentage by weight, we cut it in half for the amount of water to be added. And that should be the proper amount of water. It won't be too dry, won't be too wet. Let us hope. Kame, you guys actually grilled steak last night. Halloween from Letter Kenny style? What? I don't think I've seen that. Like the Letter Kenny hilarious videos, is that what you're talking about? Okay, let's back it up. Our buckwheat flour and wheat flour. And then we need our scale. I'm gonna do it in grams. Should I do 275 grams of buckwheat flour and then like 25 grams of wheat? That seems like a pretty good ratio. Should give us a pretty good amount of noodles. I also don't want to be trying to knead this massive amount. Okay, what if I do 325 of the buckwheat flour? And then 25 grams of the wheat flour. Maybe we'll we'll go a bit more. Maybe we'll go 50 grams. So we'll go up to 375. That looks like the right amount that she used in her noodles as well. So we have 375 grams of flour. So half that, guys. And that's what we need for water. Not Canadian, but you love the show. Oh, man. Yeah, Letterkenny is hilarious. As a Canadian, yeah, we definitely love that. You went to a ramen place in Portland and you think you had an out-of-body experience. It was so good. What was the place called, Splinter Cat? Okay, so 187 grams of water. 187 grams of water. And does she say cool or lukewarm?
In Japan, we have always treated it as a medicinal food. The Japanese monks were given buckwheat groats to eat for nourishment when they went into long periods of meditation in the woods and the mountains. Because buckwheat is a complete protein, you almost don't need anything else. We're going to start making the noodles. I'm going to add water. The amount of water that I add is about 50%.
She doesn't say the temperature of that either. I'm going to go with just lukewarm. I think that'll be the safest bet here. If it was a Fury in Portland, you know the feels. Marukan ramen in Portland, but you'll have to check that place out next time. Oh, man. Okay, just even that out. 187 grams. Stop. Okay. I'm getting zen right now, guys. Getting zen. I'm also gonna take my rings off, I think, because she says we have to use our hands for this. Oh, it's hard to get off of my knuckle that I burnt. Okay, I can only get one ring off. Okay, now that we added the water, we also know that we basically only have 20 minutes. Just want to see how she starts to mix it.
Flour, the less water you need. Too much water is going to make it into a mushy noodle because buckwheat is water soluble.
Too much water,
And
mushy
when you
noodle.
cook it, it wants to fall apart. Putting hands in flour is a restorative process.
Putting the hands in the flour is a restorative process. So she kind of just starts by doing this. By like letting it slowly absorb the water, and then we're not being too tough when we mix it, so we're not making it like really gluey and tough. It smells so nutty as soon as you start mixing it. Yum. YouTube has great noodle masters. Like this video that I'm referencing, so good. I was so happy to find it. How long does sour cream keep in the fridge? Well, it is soured, so I mean, it should take a while to go bad for sure, Trev. Unless you like contaminate it with a dirty spoon, it should stay for, let's say, at least a month. Okay, this looks pretty good. Clean off those bits that are wanting to stick. You've literally eaten like 3-month-old sour cream before. Yeah, totally, Splinter Cat. That's like my theory too. It's like use your eyes. That's always the first thing. Look if there's mold. Okay, there's no mold. Okay, now use your nose to smell it. It doesn't smell weird. Okay, your next sense that you're gonna use is your mouth. Taste it. How does it taste? If it's okay, then you're good. Those are the 3 things you should do if you're iffy about food.
It allows you to focus.
Sam doesn't do any of the 2 prior things. He just puts it in his mouth.
Thinking about
But that's Sam.
cats and travel, so much
Perfect strategy. I thought so.
I love to cook. I've always cooked.
Okay,
and
let me
I
see her
tell
mixing
my
these.
students when I
Okay, so now our next thing, start making it into the dough. And we know we're good to go when there's no dry bits left in it. So she kind of just starts to press it together. It does seem a bit dry, but we're not adding water yet. We will not. Like she said, if you add too much, you're just gonna get a soupy mess. No, thank you. Yeah, this is why you have your senses, to literally protect yourself. Except I always wonder about like the first people to like really start eating a bunch of different foods. It's like, yeah, I think people for sure, like, definitely there were people that ate the wrong thing and it did not work out well for them. We are thankful for said people. I'm also going to assume that buckwheat, not really being a grain, it takes a little bit longer for it to absorb the flour. This is starting to feel pretty good though. You can see how it's starting to come together. I do have a bit of water next to me, which we might need like the smallest amount, just going by how it kind of crumbles back apart. Let's throw in the dough. Just be love and light. Thank you for the follow. And I agree with that. Just be love and light, guys. That's what the world needs more of. Oh, I don't know, guys. I think we're really hitting this on the head. Yeah, how did they figure out you needed to cure olives to make them edible? How many people died to realize certain plants should not be eaten? We don't know, Bonk. My heart is like beating right now. This is a workout of sorts. Okay, I want to see, I'm going to reference back to the video, but it's feeling good so far.
soba making is.
Okay, hers literally looks like that, so I am happy.
You haven't.
It looks maybe a bit
So I'm gonna
stickier.
start kneading it, and you could see that it's a workout. I call this soba yoga.
Soba yoga is what we're getting into next. Okay, sounds good, Kame. Okay, all I'm gonna do, put a bit of water onto my hands, and then that small amount of moisture should be enough. I think so. One more little dip in there, just because these are still flaking off just a touch. You guys can see how tough this is getting, right? But if she can do it, then so can we, guys. Okay, let's switch to the board now. She says to her students, if the bowl is not clean, you didn't do it right. The bowl is clean. Let's hope we did it right. Your sobas dissolved in the water as soon as they hit. Don't even say that, dude.
Like, I'm actually putting my whole weight into it.
She's putting her whole butt into it, she says. So now we're gonna start to roll it into like a cylinder. I think these are gonna hold together. I really do. Okay, we got the shape And I'm gonna quickly just put my hair up, guys. One moment. I need to get it out of there. This is getting serious.
Serious?
This is serious stuff. Okay. Also, just turning off this little baby back there. Our little broth, a little bit of dashi. We'll let it sit for a few minutes, marry up. Hers still looked a bit not as dry as this. But I am worried though. If we add too much water, that will be the end of us. And I think she says we gotta do this for like 10 minutes. But it is feeling good. Also, I can probably say it's better to have to add more water than to have to like try and take it out, right? But even then, if you feel like you added too much water, just add a little bit more flour, right?
Further. The width.
Yeah, hers is a bit more smooth.
Just turn it this way. And I do a little jelly
I'm
roll.
gonna go one more time.
Or like a little snip.
Pause that. Like her edges were very smooth. So we're really just going by looks right now. And just going by the way that tore, I think we're getting there. And yeah, if I look a little bit dewy right now, it's because I am. Okay, look how that's coming out now. Still a bit crumbly though. But we are starting to get structure. Yeah, men are sweaty, women are dewy. Very delicate, Trev. Yeah, who needs who needs the gym? Manitoban. We're just gonna make soba noodles. Okay, so I put a little bit of moisture inside of there. Just kind of tear the dough open, and then we'll put it back together. We'll do some more cylinders and then try and do that crazy fold that she does. We'll attempt it. I don't like how it tears like that. But we can also think about, like, everyone's flour is different too, guys. So yeah, that's why we always say a recipe is just a guideline, really. We can have the expectations that it'll be the same, but unless you're in literally the same region as said person, it's never gonna be the same. Okay, that's looking better for sure, right? So I think we're getting close to that like 10-minute mark of kneading it. And the ends are staying together now. I think that's looking so good, guys. gonna sew it back up. It's looking good, Trev. Thank you for that reassurance. Since yours didn't work out, thank you for saying it looks better than yours. Okay, we'll get our smooth cylinder and then we'll do her like fancy little roll. And I think we'll also be able to tell how our dough is when we go to do the roll that she does. But yeah, so far, like, even if I just hold it up, it's very smooth and consistent looking. And yeah, it's got structure, like, it's really building up now. Okay. So she rolls it into a snail and then keeps going.
There's
Word.
not that much kneading to do. You over knead it and the dough starts to dry out.
If you over knead it, the dough will start to dry out. Noted. Okay, it's rolling the same way hers did. The snail. And then she says, so keep going this way now. So we'll kind of smash it together. And then we're gonna start making our cylinder this way. Snail dough. If this works out, I want to message that lady and be like, just so you know, I followed your exact steps and it worked. I think more people need to be told that. Just kind of keep smoothing the ends. Okay, I think we are good there again.
You want to finish the noodles in 20 minutes. Here
Okay,
are the
now she
spots.
starts to do
Now I
it
wanna
into
make
the
a beautiful
round.
disc. I'm gonna-
Hello, Vion. How are you? Perfect timing, man. We're just getting into our sobas. So I think she does this. I can tell how it's starting to crack. It's getting a bit dry. So I'm just gonna moisten my hands a little bit again. I'm gonna flip that over as well. That side's very nice and smooth. Oh yes, and then what did she do? So she leaves the belly button in the middle, right? All about the belly button. Doing good so far, View, and the stream's going really good. I have a great feeling about these soba noodles.
Hold it with my left hand, and here's my thumb as a guide. It's gonna hold the middle, and I'm gonna start.
Okay, so she leaves the little belly button in the center. Yeah, the dough is starting to crack. A little bit more moisture. Okay, there's our belly button, and then she starts to like bring it in. I probably won't be able to do the chrysanthemum fold. And then she makes it into a square. So I'm gonna do the square thing probably a bit different than what she does. Also, we gotta get going a bit quicker, guys. Can you tell how it's starting to dry out? That's why she says the 20 minutes. Like, you can see. You can't be messing around. Okay, bit more moisture again. And I mean, we really have two choices, whether we want to cut them by hand or pass them through like the little pasta roller. So we're gonna try and go really traditional and do the pasta. Do the pasta roller? Even Graham does it. Get the Ferrari out. Okay, word. But we still have to get it a bit thinner to pass it through there. So what I think we're gonna do, because you guys said pasta roller, cut this in half lengthwise, and then we'll roll it out in those smaller portions. Because it can't be any wider than the pasta roller. Also, look at that. I think that cut right there really shows how good the structure of the noodle is gonna be. I think so, at least. I actually don't know. We'll also be able to tell as we start rolling it out. I don't like the cracks, guys. I'm worried about the cracks. But then when we, yeah, even when we flip it over, a bit more moisture. F. Hi, Annie. I did notice you're here, but I am noodling. This is serious, serious business here. I'm glad you made it. I just saw your note in Discord that you were going to be off at like 4:15. So welcome in. Actual perfect timing, I would say. Okay, so that touch of moisture did get rid of those cracks. So maybe we can use that little method for ourselves. And I will say, this dough is nice to roll out. It really doesn't stick to the rolling pin. And then I think the only other thing I'm gonna put on the bottom, because it is wanting to stick, she used tapioca flour, which I actually don't have. Just wanna do a little bit. If we do buckwheat, it'll dry it out a bit. So I'm just gonna do a very scant amount of our all-purpose flour. Like very scant, so push off any extra. Slide that on there. How was your week, Annie? Yeah, it feels good to be here and relaxing, I'm sure. Feels good to be here with you guys too, I will say that. I was excited for this stream all week. Okay, this is getting near the thickness that we need to pass it through the pasta roller. Okay, I'm gonna say I'm done with that one because I don't like the cracks on the edges. But maybe the pasta roller will take care of that for us. Now this one, so I think to help us out, beat it down a bit. You guys are like, no, Kate, that's moving the camera. Okay, fine. No beating the dough. You've wanted to try the tapioca flour and gluten-free breads? Tapioca used to be very popular with chefs. It's like a very old school thing. But like I said, it used to be very popular, so I would recommend it. Okay, no stickage. This one's falling apart a bit. Oh, that's nice and smooth on that side. That makes me happy. Just make sure it doesn't stick. Should we try and like push in the edges, guys? Okay. I think I feel good with that. I feel good. Gotta go get your son from school, Manitoban. You leave the stream up. Thank you, dude, for the lurk. It might be too dry. Oh no. The edges will crack. It's normal. Okay. Okay. We'll keep going then. The only thing I want to do before we go too far, let's set up our boiling pot real quick so that that can come up while we're rolling it out. You don't want to be waiting on that. The noodles will dry out. Every minute counts here. So we'll fill that pot halfway up with hot water. And then I'm going to assume that you also salt this, just with any other noodle. Put that on medium high. 1, 2, we'll do 3 teaspoons of water. View, you're making me worried about my edges, so I think I want to wet them a bit as well, if I can. Just like put some water down on my sides of my palms. It is staying together though, so I do have a really good feeling about this. Okay, I'm just gonna rinse my hands real quick and get the pasta machine set up. And then this will be super quick actually. I mean, I do understand as well why she used the tapioca flour during the rolling, because like she said, it doesn't dry out the dough at all. So far, we are not needing Mr. Noodles, guys. It is not needed. Back on that Atlas. Let's get this up here. Oh, that went sideways. There we go. Okay, I gotta hang this over just a bit still though. We'll keep coming. Yeah. We're gonna see how this works first, Trev. Because it'll be quicker for me to do it this way than to do her crazy flipping technique that she does. I don't feel confident with that one just yet. And like her little noodle knife and the special measuring board. Oh man. I do have a big cleaver though. Okay, so I'm gonna start at 0. Oh, she's already cracking. And let's see how this passes through. Too dry to even feed. Okay, yo that. Oh, Vune, you're right. It is too dry. I just want to show you guys what happens though. Oh, maybe it was just that end. Nope. This is where it gets really difficult. Okay, not using that. Guys, Noodle Week is gonna be the death of Kate. So this is what happened there. We cannot channel our inner Tabatai. It's just prep. We're just preparing. Thanks, B-Bubs. Also, hello, dude. I hope you are well. I think it's just getting drier and drier as we like mess around with it. But I also want to see, can we put it back together? Just want to see these little noodle bits that we got here. Will it go back together though? I think the answer is yes. Keep it floured. Okay, So we should be able to get something here. Yeah, the longer it sits, it's literally drying out by the minute. Like I can feel it, Cookie. Maybe it doesn't help that I have an open window beside me. Okay, I'm gonna try and make a quick work of this. Bit more flour underneath. Just enough flour so that the rolling pin won't stick to the top. And yeah, we're just going to discard the edges that are very dry and crumbly, guys. I think that will be the best application for our first time. As we get more comfortable with it, maybe we'll do it the proper way. I'm gonna cut this just so it's easier to roll. You would crumble everything up into a bowl and add some water into it, kneading until it gets smooth again. Sure, a little bit of water will help, but that means incorporating it more and could end up in a tougher nude. Oh, it's true. I don't want to re-crumble it up because she says the more you work it, like, the worse your noodles are. And I believe that. 1/16 of an inch though. That's half of the thickness of the smallest knife cut. Stop sticking. What we got going on down here though, I'm loving that look. It is staying together. So I think that was a wise choice, not crumbling it back up. We are getting very close to the thickness. That's why I'm getting slower at the rolling, because I also don't want to tear it. Okay. So we want to make sure that the center and the edges are all the same thickness, guys. And I think first, I'm just going to trim off those ends, and then we'll flop it and do our noodle cuts. Make sense? Yeah, it's all a learning process. There's not really any loss here. Whether it works out or not, right, guys? We still take something away. I think I'll just make that guy small. Trim the nude. Like maybe these little bits we can work back into something. I don't even know if I would do that though. I'm just gonna trim that off as well because I don't like how it looks. Okay, just gonna fold that over. This also kind of determines how our dough is. And it did crack, so that's also a sign that it is dry. So because I don't want it to crack and I want to get something out of this, I'm just gonna go in nice thin strips, I think. Definitely not traditional, but we're making it work, friends. Hi, White Dove. Yeah, good afternoon. Typically it's good morning from you, but good afternoon. I hope you are well. And these are pretty simple to cut though. Oh, it tore anyways. Can we cut it without it tearing? No. So it's gonna tear anyways. I'm just gonna go for it. Hopefully if we cut it quick. Oh, that was really thick. I really hope that these didn't all stick together on top of each other though. It did. Guys, I don't know about this. That's not usable. Okay, keep going. Test batch. The water is almost there, guys. This is too thick, though, to even call it a soba noodle. We might end up cooking the dried stuff. At least I have that backup. Or we can do a comparison. Ah! This is the quietest Sam's ever been during a stream. I don't even know if he's actually alive. Where are you? He's not even here with us. Yeah, guys, it's too dry. It is way too dry now that I'm looking at it. Okay, we'll do this quick test batch. Our water is pretty much up. I'm not happy even dropping those, but we'll do it anyways. Yeah, he's in our hearts. Yo, I'm not upset at what's happening. It's more frustrating than anything, right? Because you always want things to work out. Yeah, you always want things to like go well. That's a thing. I might do still what Vune said and just break it up and add a bit more water, but then the noodles could suffer. The noodles could suffer. Okay, so those are boiling. I'm just gonna drop this like very scant handful in. And we'll do like 80 seconds together. Let's see. I'm counting in my head, by the way. $20 seconds left. Okay, that was 80 seconds. These ones are a bit thicker, so they might need a bit longer, but they feel pretty good. Also, we can note, they didn't fall apart, guys. Better than the gnocchi stream still. We're still doing okay. It's just not traditional. These are more like an udon soba. This is a first, never before seen in noodle history. Oh, actually, I did the first mistake already. We gotta rinse it under cold water. Yeah, I thought maybe they would just unstick bonk as they cooked, but they didn't. But still, they didn't fall apart, so that's something. Sudon. We're making our own thing. Okay, I'm gonna try this. It's really tough. Obviously because it's really thick, but it tastes super good. But it is chewy. More cooking? Okay, probably double the amount of time then. I'm just gonna like regroup myself right now, think about how I want to go about the rest of this, because this is giving me life right now. The fact that they didn't fall apart in the water, this is okay. I think we might be able to come back from this. I just know that when it comes to being able to get the noodle portion out of it, it's too dry to get the proper thing. We do have this piece that's not really been touched though, and it does feel a bit more moist for sure than this other stuff. So what if I try like wetting down this side that's been exposed to air, roll it out, get the edges like nice. We'll attempt this one more sheet. If that is not good, guys, then we will go with our one portion of dried. And we still have our spicy shrimp to do. We still have our sesame slaw. And yeah, we are definitely going into this. This is solely an educational stream, as it is for the most part. But today, it's for me too. And yeah, that doesn't usually happen, so I still enjoy this. Because I still need to challenge myself culinarily as well, since I'm not working in restaurants anymore. And well, it's definitely way less stressful trying this at home than in a restaurant where you're getting paid to cook. So I'm okay. It is okay, guys. Okay, that looks better already. That's nothing to say though that the dough is not still going to be too dry inside. My hope is that this will kind of soak through. I think we invented something new, Splinter Cat. A soba udon? I probably have some Japanese people rolling over in their grave right now though. Or maybe they're just proud of us for attempting it, right? I would think the latter. Okay. Bit of flour to minimize sticking. I'm also going to cut that piece in half. Bit on top. I know I just put the water on just to dry it out, but we're trying stuff here, guys. We're not giving up. Still pretty dry. It could be the wheat flour as well, right? That's what she said. That's why she used tapioca when she rolled it. It's crazy how just that little bit of dryness will affect the entire noodle. So I'm gonna try to obviously not fold it over itself this time. Try and get one nice noodle. But it did tear every time we tried to cut it. That's because we were trying to slice it. You can already see it's a bit dry as we get thinner and thinner. Give that a lift. And a little swirl around again. We do not want it to stick at all at this point. This is probably the most difficult thing I could have picked to make for Noodle Week. But I was like, we make pasta all the time together on stream. I really wanted to pick something different. And something that I was like literally scared of. Because I know you guys are here with me. Oh, okay, it's starting to tear. I think that's as thin as we're gonna go. Ah! Oh, do not stick. Thanks, White Dove. Yeah, we got this. The cleaver is not even longer than my chef's knife. It is not longer. Get rid of that. Really want to try and get some kind of good noodle out of this. I don't think it's gonna happen though. Oh! Still wants to tear right there. Okay, so I'm gonna just trim this to basically a close length of my blade. Hopefully we can slice down without it tearing. Guys, we might be able to get one soba dish. We're doing it. Slowest soba making in the world, but heck, we're doing it. And they're supposed to be nice and thin. If there's anything this year taught us, do not give up. I'm happy with this. I am happy with this. Do I have a large ruler? I don't. But I should have something. Oh, I know what we can use. I know exactly what, Bune. Thank you for being inventive just now. Just have to give it a wipe. But this is quite straight. And it's metal. How about this? How about this little guy? It's like pretty straight. Yeah, this side's straighter. Okay, so just go down. Just have to determine the thickness here. Pop. Okay, a bit thinner than that. That was a bit thick too. Okay, I need to look down on it. I don't know if that cuts any better. It gives it a like rough edge. I think the knife was still better. And it's also trying to make it stick to the board. I think I was going way faster doing it this way. Guys, we need a noodle knife. We need the noodle measurer, the cutter. And then the other thing I'm gonna say, as you're cutting this, you definitely want them all to be the same size. You want it to cook consistently. You don't want some to be large, some to be small, and then you have chewy noodles, you have mushy noodles. That is not what we want. But the fact that I'm able to cut this dough in this way, it's already better than the last one we attempted. And I think we are going to be able to impress ourselves today. Oh, that one's like, hey, Kate, just remember, it's not as easy as it seems. I think we are going to do a comparison today, guys. We'll do this little batch and then we'll do the packaged one. Okay, it's getting a bit dry on that end. I would say it's close to like a spaghetti thickness almost is what you want to cut it. Because then as it cooks, it will just expand a bit from the water absorption. Okay, I think this is our last cut. We got something. Remember this pile of fire when she was shaking them out after cutting? Yes. But I don't even think I can shake these or dust them, Bonk. They are that delicate. That delicate. Hi, Cheese. Welcome back, dude. It is going, well, not perfect, but it's going for sure. We are making progress. Getting a little bit more confident in these soba noodles. I'm gonna trim this one a bit because it's quite thick. And we're gonna go for our first cook here, I think. I think we should go over to the stove now, guys. Pop these in the water. Because yeah, if I go to lift these up, I don't wanna go right in the center just in case they all decide to break in half. But I see what you're saying, Bonk, is they do kind of want to stick together. Like way back together, even after you cut them. Okay, we'll do a little dusting. Just try and loosen them up with my knife. This is the most like delicate, finicky thing I've ever done in my life. Like ever. Even being a pastry chef before. Holy smokes. Okay, we're good. We're making it. Tore a couple that time. Okay, that's as far as I'm gonna go with that flouring. This is why she dusted with so much flour. Ah! Hello, Colonel Salty Dog. How's it going today? Yeah, let's do this. Someone's got their 80-second timer set up. Drop these couple of stragglers. Just gonna give the water a little like fluff around, but try not to break up the noodles at all. Okay, they're going around. So we're gonna run those under cold water. Wash my hands up, get a plate ready for them as well. I'm gonna say these will probably take a bit longer than that 80 seconds because they're probably a touch larger than what she did. That. We can also test it as it cooks. I don't want to test, too many though. And then after this, we're gonna strain out that broth, give it a taste, season it up so that we have something to dip this into. And then we can cook our shrimp if we're happy with this. I'm gonna take out this little guy. Done. Straggler. Okay, that's all of them. Run it under cool water. Not like super aggressive cool water because you don't want to break the noodles up. This is the smallest portion of noodles ever. So running it under the cool water helps obviously slow down the cooking process, and it helps it not stick together. Now, you obviously don't want to serve them soaking wet on the plate or in the bowl. Let me try and shake that out. Okay, guys. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Okay, welcome to this messy cutting board. Very messy. But this is the reality of making soba noodles. Hello, Zobo Cat! How are you? Okay. Okay, real quick. We don't need this bowl because that's way too large for the amount of soba we have. I'm gonna try and clear this just a touch. Just not as like floury. Floury. Okay, we got that. Here's our little dashi. Get a fine mesh strainer. That's where this little bowl comes in. Good color on that one. Oh yeah. Check that out, guys. Okay, so we gotta taste that. Just looking at our noodles here. They're not sticking. Mmm. Good shrimpy flavor, a little bit smoky from the bonito flakes. Just take a smaller amount out and then we'll season it. Because yeah, there's no salt or anything in there. Definitely have extra broth. Okay, so our soy sauce. That's good, Zobo. And welcome back, Manitoban. Glad you caught the plating. Oh, man. That looked cool, didn't it? Just a little bit of the rice cooking wine. Mmm, that's really good. It kind of tastes like miso soup. Okay, I'm gonna take a photo. I don't even know why I grabbed a fork just now. I was going for chopsticks. Take a photo of this mess just to document it. Document the process of what's happened. Okay. Yeah, we didn't go with the walnut dipping sauce either, guys. Okay, so just going by how these noodles are, they're kind of breaking. So we can already know that they're a bit too thick. And maybe the ratio of some things are off. Because they should be able to like bend, right? Without breaking. But anywho, this is just going to be a fair assessment of what's going on here. Okay, we also, yeah, that happening, that's not what we want to happen at all. We also don't want to dip all of the noodles in. And you should be able to slurp them which is not going to happen with these. I'm still not happy with them. Even cooking it longer, it's like really chewy still. Like that texture is not what I get from the package. But the package also, they have tapioca flour in the dough. It's okay, Kiwi Mish. We're just trying to see if we, how we did. Not if we made it proper. Just want to see how we did so that we can improve next time. I want a bit more sauce. Okay, that bite had a little bit thinner noodles. It's better. And we're definitely getting all the flavor from the buckwheat, guys. It's nice and nutty, kind of like umami, especially when you dip it. But yeah, just a bit chewy. I think it was a moisture issue, 100%. 100% it was. And that's just something that you will learn over time, I'm gonna say. Yeah, see, I can barely even pick these up with the chopsticks. And like that one is super thick. If I think back to the first pasta dough I ever made, I don't think it was that good either. There's one slurp for you guys. Yeah, my knife wasn't big enough. Didn't have the noodle measure cutter thing. There's some things to improve on all the time. Am I happy though that I attempted it? 100% as well. Sounds good, Splinter Cat. Enjoy your coffee. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow if you don't make it back. Not my favorite soba noodle experience though. So we will cook up the packaged stuff and do it that way with the dipping sauce. According to Google, it's called a mancuri knife. Yeah, I love the attempt to cookie. I might try and like salvage these leftover scraps. We'll see. But for now, we're gonna pack them up. Clear off the board and do our little bit of shrimps. Oh, it's work time again. Well, Bonk, I am super pumped that at least I got something in the bowl that maybe resembled soba noodles, but I don't think so. I wouldn't call this a soba noodle at all. Like, I would never serve that to anyone either. That's fair as well, right? I'm trying to be as honest as I can with you guys. Yeah, we didn't fail, but we learned. Exactly. Have a wonderful day at work, Bonk, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care, man. I did also watch the Joshua Weissman, his video as well, when he made soba noodles. And he used the pasta roller. Maybe I'll try his way next time, guys. Done with that. Okay, I'm gonna reserve my chopsticks. I'll just put all of this into the bowl. Definitely the most finicky dough I have ever worked with, guys. Even though, let's say this, even though the gnocchi failed, it's still easier to work with that. Like gnocchi's difficult, but this way more difficult. And yeah, I see what she means when she says you only have about 20 minutes to get the noodles done before they get too dry. Yeah, look how long it took you to perfect the gluten-free bread. That is something to say as well, Annie. Thank you for that. And consistency, right? Because you did it like back-to-back weeks doing your bread. And that way you really got a feel for what you wanted. There was some flour stuck on there. Getting the hydration right, oh, I think that is like the biggest one. When it comes to things with not a lot of gluten, they just dry out so quick. Definitely does not hold the moisture the same way. At least I didn't get so frustrated when it didn't look right and toss it out. Yeah. That is what I don't want to do with you guys on this show. It's like there's always a way to fix it in my mind. There's always a way to just like keep going forward. Okay, just gonna push this camera and my cutting board back again. That looks right. And then we can also say that I think we improved on the first attempt versus the second attempt. First attempt, basically just garbage, is we folded the noodles over, they stuck together, and they wouldn't even really cut without breaking. So that's a no. Right away I was like, Kate, something is off. Second attempt, we're getting better. The noodles didn't break quite as easily, and we didn't stack it on top of each other, so it wasn't too thick, but still a ways to go, guys. That's for sure. Okay, so like I said, we do at least have one dried portion of the soba, and I would love to still present it in the way where we can dip it cold into our sauce that we made up. So let's get that out. You'd eat them? The texture is kind of weird though, dude. Like some of them are good, but then some of the thicker ones are not so good at all. Is it weird that whenever you watch the stream, you end up looking at knives on Amazon? No, I don't think that's too weird. So that is how they look out of the package. And then we got to prep our garnish too. So let's get into our nori. I think I want a little bit of chives to be able to sprinkle on top as well. Maybe we should make the walnut dipping sauce now, hey? I don't know how I'm gonna get it to look like hers though, because hers looked almost like creamy. Maybe that was from the walnuts? We got our nori sheet. Let me see how this is not toasted up again. That'll be good, guys. Okay. I'm gonna cut this in half. And that's more than enough, actually. And then go in half again. Layer it. I'll go in half one more time. And then this will kind of, soften up, I think, on top when you eat it with the noodles. So stack that. And we'll just go nice thin strips. Oh, and yeah, it's a bit hard to cut through. Like really hard, holy heck. Maybe we should toast it up one more time. What do we feel, guys? I've never actually done that. It's like some people put it right over the flame, which sadly we don't have. I guess the broiler could work. Or we just can't have it stacked. Not 4 high. Got it. Okay, just going to grab a little bit of chives. Whew. She is breezy. Oh man, I bet you some trees are gonna fall today. All that rain and then the wind. Okay, nice little bit of greenery on top. These are garlic chives as well, by the way. Scallions would also be super good on top. It's another recommendation from the recipe. Push that up too, just over by the nori. And just pick from that. Would some sodium alginate make the dough easier to work with? I wonder. Wait for the shake. But doesn't sodium alginate... No, that's sodium citrate. So sodium citrate binds like fats together. What does the alginate do? I forget that chemical. I forget that one, guys. Okay, I was just checking back on that, the dipping sauce ratio, and we had it right. Okay, so all we gotta do, undo our little thing of soba noodles. I'm gonna drop those in the pot on the stove top. Also gotta clear it out a bit from some other noodle remnants that got left behind. Okay, I'm going for the drop. You can do that view. And then I'm just gonna check back on that package. What did it say? 7 minutes for dried. So 7 minutes to cook the dried soba versus 80 seconds for the fresh stuff. Hi, Practical Escapist. Yeah, happy weekend. Okay, so I'm gonna do 6 minutes, and then we'll test them at that point. Just give them a little stir. And you don't really want it boiling hard either, is what it said. Just like a simmer. So we're not boiling for 7 minutes, just simmering. Okay, that we'll be able to use the wok bowl for plating. Got that. Our little bit of dipping sauce. And yeah, you don't need a lot of the dipping sauce, guys. That there. Yeah, this is a cooking stream, not chemistry class. So bring that up so we don't blind ourselves. A hydration agent for noodles. It's a vegan gelatin, sodium alginate. Yeah, the week's been good. Practical Escapist, I hope your week has been good as well. Sodium alginate. Okay, beautiful little simmer here. Heck, guys, if we get the pan on quick enough, we might be able to get the shrimps cooked. Okay, so I'm just gonna do them quickly in a little frying pan. For sure, you could do it in a wok. Turn that on to a medium-high heat. And I'm just gonna line the bottom with some grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil or canola oil. Let's get those babies out. And we can take the slaw out too. At least we could serve some sort of composed dish at the end of the day. We will not give up. But dang, guys, those shrimps looking good. I think those are gonna be pretty spicy. Shrimps! Did y'all forget about the shrimps? We marinated those with, we did gochujang, so Korean red chili paste, a little bit of our smoked chili flake that we made, MSG a little bit of baking soda, which keeps them more plump. I think that's it. That was it. Your mom hated grapeseed oil? It was banned in her kitchen? What? That's like every chef's go-to cooking oil. Oh yeah, intro food in university. Covered so much chemistry you were confused. I loved, like, I took a nutrition class and I loved it. Okay, we got that. Just waiting for this guy to heat up. I'm actually gonna have a little sneaky taste of these noodles that are cooking away. But like, look at that color of them too. Just way different than what we were attempting to make. I actually think those are done. I don't know why they say 7 minutes. Actually, maybe one more minute. One more minute. And with that being said, I will be right back. Yeah, grapeseed has a very nice high smoke point, which is why I would say like it's in restaurants all the time. And then like canola oil is basically just used for deep frying. Okay, friends, back. Ooh, corn oil. I don't think I've ever cooked with that. Okay, our oil is smoking in this pan. But I think first, why don't we just take that off for like a second. Let us strain our soba noodles, get them cooled off. So I'm actually gonna do that in a colander. And we'll get those into the bowl so that we don't overcook them, because that's very important. And I still like them al dente, so with just a touch of bite. That was our timer anyway, so how perfect is that? Okay, run your cold water over them so they don't stick. Not too heavy of a stream though, because you don't want to break up the noodles. This is also gonna help them from stopping cooking. Yeah, that color is so dark. How do they get the color so dark with the dried noodles? Maybe when it dries, it concentrates? Almost cooled off. Okay, that's good. Let's get this pan back on, swirl around your oil, and we're gonna drop those shrimps in. So it should sizzle as soon as we drop the shrimps. Put that there for us. Yeah, peanut oil, except it's quite expensive. That's quite an expensive one, especially up in Canada, I would say. Yes. Spicy shrimps in the pan. This is gonna wake up Sam, guys. There's one thing, it's gonna be this. I'm gonna try not to crowd the pan too much either. I don't wanna like pile it on top of themselves. But they do shrink up a little bit as they cook. And that is still on a medium-high heat. I wasn't really looking to get any like browning on the shrimps. Just more for like the nice spicy flavor and perfect cook. There we go. That smells so good. So good. Okay. Get those nudes out of the sink. I'm gonna wash up my hands. Then we'll get the nudes into the bowl. There's the nudes. Those look good. These are smelling good. I'm just gonna give them a stir. Yeah. And typically I just like to flip them. Like stirring shrimp, not really recommended. It would be better if you could flip every single individual one. I think I'm just gonna use my hands, guys. It'll be quick. Oh, that one we already flipped. And yeah, as soon as you start to see it turning like white from the other side, that's when I flip it, and then it's about maybe 20 seconds on that second side and you're good to go. I mean, there are probably worse things than overcooked shrimp, but it's a pretty bad one. It's up there. They just go so rubbery. Flip that one over quickly, and then that is off of the heat, guys. And I think we might pour those out. I'm just gonna pour them into this little bowl. Let's go over to the cutting board. You don't mind a chewy shrimp? I don't mind a chewy shrimp, but when we start gravitating towards a rubbery shrimp, that's when it's like, what have you done? What have you done? That is a little bit hot. I need a hot cloth. Hello. Those looks like they would splice up your life. Look at that oil though in the bottom. I need to clean up this bowl. Look, what have I done? Worst plating ever. I think the garlic chives are gonna go on top of the shrimps, guys. Yeah, where's Sam's portion? That's what happens when you sleep through lunch. No, I'm just kidding. I will go wake him up. Just wanted to get these garnished. Yum. Why are like shrimp and scallions or shrimp and chive such a good combination? See, I told you he'd wake up for it. Okay, we got that. Here's our other little garnish here. Just kind of pile up your nori. He's up. That. I think we should zoom out because we have one more thing still to go in here. This isn't pointing at you guys, just so you know, because I know that's a bad thing to do, right? Never point your chopsticks at someone. And then the sesame slaw. Even more colorful stuff. Should we put that in a small bowl as well, I think? Just to like keep our little theme of bowls going. Oh, they're okay. That slaw, one of the best. I think it just needs a little bit of salt, but I love those flavors. Oh, and I think I'm gonna put the rest of the chives into there. And the crunch. Can you guys hear the crunch? That's why we always do one final taste. This is what we have. So if you want to eat that, that is totally fine by me. I just need a photo first, so please don't touch. Oh no! There's a broccoli in the dipping sauce.
Broccoli and dipping sauce.
Guys, how do we get the dipping sauce more creamy? Just put the slaw in it.
So.
Wrecked. Okay, we got that with that. Shrimps. Yeah, start over. Please don't. Please don't make me. I don't know if we can, guys. Just trying to get everything in this frame. Yeah. Well, we still got out of the stream what we said we were gonna get, which is soba noodles, guys. At least I had the backup package. So let's see what we think of this. Served cold with the dipping sauce. And then I'm super intrigued by these shrimps right now. I'm just like smelling them. They might need salt, or it's pretty good. I put the right amount of MSG. Uncle Roger would be proud, guys. Hey, Scrump. Thank you so much. I'm not very good at chopsticks with noodles, guys. Okay, just the shallow dip, she says. Just the shallow dip. Hope you had a good week, Scrump. It wouldn't be a noodle stream if there was no slurping. That tastes right. Whatever I made. I don't know what I made, guys. I think I'm gonna put a bit more soy sauce in the dipping sauce, Kame. Just not quite potent enough. Sammy's loving the slaw. Thank you, Cookie. Okay, I'm gonna go for one more dip, and then I'm getting into our screams. Okay, that was a better dip. Like half of them. What is the name of this dish? This is called Zaru Soba. So it's soba noodles served cold. That was a better sauce. Or Zeru soba? Yeah, way better. So I got the soy in there. And then yeah, like the little bit of fishiness from the dashi took the background after that. I can see though why noodle nerds, we'll call them that, noodle nerds do like to eat soba noodles in this way. Because yeah, it really lets the noodle flavor like speak for itself. I can see like it being handmade, how good that would be. Okay, let's get into our spicy shrimps. It's spicy, but flavorful. I think that's also why I love to do the gochujang paste with that. As well as the chili garlic oil, because just that little hint of garlic is so good with shrimp. Like chili garlic shrimp, probably my favorite flavors on there. What? That is so delicious. And I can see how the shrimp would go super good with the slaw, and then when you go back to the noodles, it's like starting over. There's a nice sweetness from the gochujang on there too. It's like fruity. Yeah, the drowned noodle. Send help. Where did we get the shrimps from? I believe those were from Thrifties. Yep. Here's the bag. I had it kicking in the sink still. So Thrifties, and look for these guys. 26 to 30 per pound, really good size, uncooked, extra large, peeled and deveined with the tail on, so you have options there. And then I think right now they also have a sale on like the sustainably caught Argentinian shrimp. And they're buy one, get one right now for the bags. There's another one. Okay, I need a fork here to try some of the slaw. Sam has like crushed half of the bowl already, you guys. Oh my God. What? Where did it go? Give this guy veggies. This is the Roto-Rooter meal. Where is Titan? And I will say, buckwheat noodles, very filling, guys. Like 13% protein in there. That is a lot. Plus all the other great things, like all of the amino acids, helps cleanse your colon. Ah! Mmm. Have some noodles, have some shrimps, have some slaw. Yeah, we need those proteins after needing it. You're welcome, Splinter Cat. Okay. I feel good about it. We need to practice making our soba noodles still. Mmm. All of those shrimpy juices. I'm going to finish this chewing and then we'll have our talk. You still think it was a good turnout? Thank you, man. Okay, you get like 2 more and then the rest are for me.
Yeah.
Those are mine. Please. Please, Sam. Ah! So you know of noodles served cold from watching Korean streamers. What did they make? Okay.
So good.
Just for one last comparison. Also, thank you so much, Cookie, for those 1,000 bits. Yeah, we tried. So, proper, not proper. If we look at that comparison, mine are like 4 times as thick and big as what they should be. So no wonder they weren't exactly how they should taste, right? Everything takes time though, guys. This is just like a friendly reminder that, yeah, things take time and practice to really get right, especially when you're not familiar with them. But I am also happy with what we got out of today. We can still say that our noodles didn't disintegrate in the pot, so they didn't just go all out. All of our work was not undone. And I will attempt it again, for sure, guys. And yeah, I'm so happy that I did have that one little portion of backup soba. Always good to have around. Yeah, if we were serving Lego men soba noodles, that's what they would look like. That's the greatest comparison ever right now, Kiwi Mish. Hoju! I just want to say hi, Hoju. I have missed you so much. I'm sure you've been so busy. But yeah, a Sammy kiss cleanses your soul. Does nothing for the colon, it's true. Lego noodles. Yeah, just have fun with it. And thanks, Scooter Beach. Yeah, I feel like it was a good first shot. But there are other recipes and methods that we can try to make it work for us. That's the thing. A recipe is a guideline, and it's going to be different everywhere. Unless, like I said, you live in the exact same region as said person writing it. And heck, those shrimps are good. I just keep looking at them and I want to crush them. Okay, guys. Still an awesome stream nonetheless. We are still under the 4-hour mark, so that's pretty good as well. We got everything done. Tomorrow we have a semi-busy stream for our food for friends. So Peruvian chicken is on the menu. We have some tasty herb and garlic roasted potatoes going down. And, ooh, a nice roasted kabocha squash salad. A nice fall salad with like pumpkin seeds and feta. It's gonna be nummy. When is the draw? Thank you for the reminder, Scrump. So the draw for the Innova giveaway is on Sunday this week. So September 27th, 2 p.m. Pacific time. Yeah, it's a nice reminder, Zobo. I don't think you've ever seen me make anything that disappointed, so appreciate the honesty. Yes, I always want to be honest with you guys. Like, we can't, that's the thing with a live stream cooking show, you can't really hide things. And you have to kind of like always be on your toes and ready for the next thing that might happen.
Oh, look, perfect noodles.
Oh, who made those? What do you got going on? Before I go, is it just one plate for meal request?
Look at that hair. Look at hair.
I don't think it really matters, Manitoban. Like, okay, so for example, the last thing Annie requested for a cook with Kate, it was a little bit more involved. So I've already made his dessert, and I still have to make his seafood dish because I am acquiring said seafoods for that still. So yeah, request what you want and then we'll talk about it and figure a schedule out from there. Sam has half the slaw in his beard. Yeah, that sounds accurate, Archie. Also, good to see you today. Yeah, he wants a canoodle. Okay, so all the recipes from today are already in Discord, as are the ones for tomorrow too. So if you're like, maybe I want to cook what Kate is cooking on stream tomorrow, check out the recipes linked. We have the one for the chicken marinade as well as the green sauce. And then you'll just have to stay tuned tomorrow for our roasted potatoes and salad recipes. Yeah, he's just saving some for later. Okay, please tell me, guys, that there is another Team Bone-In streamer on right now making noodles. Please, friends. You just dropped in as you saw noodles and you'll miss the stream tomorrow. No, Archie. I'm sorry to hear that, dude, but hopefully you'll be able to make Sunday stream. It's cooking with Sammy. I think he's in Team Bone-In as well. Yeah, hi and bye. The wind? I'm quite sure that if we go out grocery shopping today, guys, we're probably not going to make it home.
No. I have a bad feeling about that.
Okay, I'm going to go, let's go raid LA, guys, because he's making sakumen.
Oh, yes.
Sakumen, which is what you use gochujang in, if I am not mistaken, for the sauce. So this is going to be good. We're going to go raid another fellow food and drink streamer, LA, aka The Hunger Service, a legend, literally one of the nicest people you will ever meet in your life. And yeah, he makes dang good food, and he is a prior sushi chef.
Another person we met on this day last year.
Yeah, another person we met on this day 1 year ago at TwitchCon. Oh, man. Yeah, I still remember that. We were just getting ready to go up the escalator, and LA was standing at the top. And he's just like, Sammy! Didn't he?
No.
Isn't that what he
went
did?
up the escalator, and everyone else was
Oh.
the escalator.
Yeah, it was good. Okay, guys. Thank you for the wonderful stream of definitely learning today. This was maybe one of the most educational, for sure. At least for me. Yeah, now you're craving shrimp. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. Okay, I'm getting ready to hit that button. Yeah, so many good TwitchCon memories. It's true. You can only think of them in the future. Okay, friends, take care. Stay safe in this crazy, wonderful world that we're living in. Don't raid yet. He's BRB, but we gotta blast him. LA's be right back, but I'm still gonna hit that button. Okay, stay safe, friends. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Same as always.